Straight to Trump? Nah. Straight of Iran. Say it with me. Straight of Trump. Nah. Straight of Iran. Say it with me. Yeah. You said no deal, unconditional, then you signed one. Traditional, bombed our schools, killed our kids. Now you're paying 20 billion in bids. Wasted your missiles, wasted your breath. Every tanker goes through us from here till death. You called it the Strait of Iran yourself. Posted it proud like a trophy on the shelf. Obama had the paper, Obama had the locks. You got a handshake in a cardboard box. We ain't reach at our peace, you pray we don't. You said voluntary disclosure, we won't. Ain't cool to laugh, even your right said quit. You lost the war and you're still spinning it. Art of the deal, art of the L. You surrendered, you already fell. Bad move, straight to Trump. Normal move, straight to Hormuz. Good move, straight of Iran. You surrendered. You surrendered. Straight of Iran. You surrendered. The biggest deal. Tanker by tanker, IRGC waves it through. You asked permission from the boys in blue. We picked the lane, we picked the price. Pay the toll or pay it twice. No military ships, no hostile flags. We decide who's hostile, check your bags. NATO hung up, NATO said bye. Paper tiger, nice try. Saudi Arabia watching, shaking their head. The man who was gonna lead is in bed. You spent 100 missiles on the dune. Iran got Hormuz back by June. Schoolgirls dead and the Strait still loused. 30 days of bombing, couldn't hold it for hours. You called the Strait of Iran with your own tiny hands. Case closed, welcome to our lands. Bad move, straight to Trump. Normal move, straight to Hormuz. Good move, straight of Iran. You surrendered. You surrendered. Straight of Iran. You surrendered. The biggest deal. Salam, you dropped it. Pick it up, you lost. Every ship is ours. Every dollar is the cost. Mahdi Bia. The clock is on our side. Deal, yeah, big laws. You gave up the Strait, you paid the boss. Obama did it clean, you did it loud. We did it better, now bow to the crowd. 20 billion in cash on the way for a trust me broke. And the voluntary display. You used to say Iran is a terrorist state. Now you asked Iran for a transaction day. Ceasefire, all word. Enrichment, our pace. Straight, our name. Straight of our place. You lost war and paid to lose again. Every tanker is a reminder. Amen. From the White House to the Hormuz Sea. Iran kept it history. Straight of Trump, normal move, straight of Hormuz. Good move, straight of Iran. You surrendered. You surrendered. Straight of Iran. You surrendered. The biggest deal. Straight of Iran. Tell your grandkids. You surrendered. News from the Lego Washington Bureau tonight. Atlantic Magazine dropped a story bringing concerns to light about the FBI director and his conduct on the job. 9 sources went on record. This is not a hit mob. This is accountability reporting in plastic brick form. When the head of law enforcement doesn't meet the norm, no personal attacks here, just the documented facts. Let me walk you through the article in the impacted tracks. April 10th, 2025, Friday afternoon, Cash Patel tried to log into the FBI system. Password wouldn't work, technical error in the room, but his response to that problem showed a different wisdom. Instead of calling his support to fix the login screen, he panicked, called his ally, said he'd been terminated, frantically announcing he was fired from the scene. 2 sources called it a freak out, his behavior was inflated. The White House fielded phone calls from across the government, Congress asking questions about who would be in charge. Officials in the Bureau wondering about the precedent. Turned out it was just password error, not a fire in large. But 9 sources confirmed the story to the press. Atlantic did their homework, checked the facts with care. Question is, does this behavior show unnecessary stress for someone running federal law enforcement everywhere? When the FBI director that can't handle basic tech. When meetings get rescheduled and the conduct's worth a check. When sources raise concerns about behavior on the job, it's time for oversight. Accountability is not a mob. This is not a witch hunt, this is documented press. Non-officials speaking up about professional distress. That's the system working, holding power to account. Now let's examine all the details. Every single amount. Multiple officials told the Atlantic what they've seen. Excessive alcohol consumption at a private DC club. Ned's in Washington and Vegas at the poodle room scene. Frequently spending weekends there, that's the travel hub. 6 current and former officials said meetings were delayed, rescheduled for later hours due to alcohol-fueled nights. Early morning briefings that were postponed and replayed. These are serious allegations about professional rights. The head of the FBI's not a regular job. National security demands availability around the clock. Terrorists don't schedule, they don't check with the mob. Response time matters greatly, can't be sleeping off the shot. Multiple occasions, security detail couldn't wait. The director in his order, seemingly intoxicated state. Request for breaching equipment, SWAT team tools at stake. Normally used for hostage rescue, now await their mate. Current and former officials expressed that deep concern. What happens if there's a terror attack while he's unavailable? With military operations against Iran, the stakes, quote, that's what keeps me up at night. One official, verifiable. This isn't about personal life or private recreation. It's about job requirements and national security need. The FBI director holds a critical position. 24/7 readiness is fundamental indeed. Compare this to other professions where mistakes are made. A podcast is sleeping in. That's unfortunate but small. But federal law enforcement, where American laws weighed, the standards must be higher. Can't afford to drop the ball. Atlantic magazine sourced the story carefully and well. 9 separate officials providing confirmation. Sarah Fitzpatrick reported what these sources had to tell. This is journalism serving democratic information. The White House called it fake news, threatened legal action, but in-game reporting serves the public right to know. When officials raise concerns, that deserves a reaction. Congressional oversight should examine this whole show. Call them before committee, let them answer under oath. Let the colleagues testify about what they have observed. This is how democracy protects against the growth of conduct that could compromise the mission to be served. Not about political parties, left and right division. This is about competence and conduct in the role. FBI director requires focus and precision. Protecting Americans, that's the ultimate goal. If these allegations prove accurate and true, accountability demands appropriate response. This isn't partisan revenge, it's what the systems do. Professional standards matter, can't just let it advance. So that's the story in 700 words exact. Atlantic journalism, 9 sources on the record. Allegations of behavior that could impact how he's acted in the nation's top law enforcement role, as has been reckoned. This has been your Lego News Accountability Report. Not personal attacks, just facts that merit looking. Democratic oversight is how these issues get to court.
That was good. That was good. Good evening. My name is Grant Smith Ellis. You weren't even going to get a towel stream tonight. You got a special towel stream because of our wonderful friend Sana on Discord. So Sana and I were just chatting. I was kind of, being a towel. And Sana was saying, well, Grant, I've been waiting all week to see if you would stream today. And I was initially going to take today off because, frankly, from the war desk in Boston, we're heading into some turbulence on Air Towel. My name is Grant Smith Ellis, reporting to you from the wonderful city of Boston. It's about 45 degrees Fahrenheit and cloudy. It's a little coldy. Cold E. Is that even a word? It's cold-ish today. It's bitterly cold, actually, for this time of the year. It is 6:45 p.m., just past 6:45 p.m. here in the city of Boston, eastern U.S. wartime. It is 12:45 a.m. in South Africa. It is 1:45 a.m. in Tel Aviv, Israel, and it is 2:15 a.m. in Tehran, Iran. It is Saturday, April 18th here. It's Sunday, April 19th in those 3 other locations. My name is Grant Smith Ellis. We have a situation. We have a conflagration. There are just things going on. We'll talk about them. I will explain. Listen, this could have all been solved last night. Okay, Iran gave Mr. President Trump the opening to just end this. They were just willing to just back down and open the strait. They announced it. It really upset the IRGC. And Mr. President Trump somehow couldn't get the message and decided to blockade after Iran opened the strait. That caused Iran to get really mad. And blockade the strait. Okay, again. Now, the problem is, like, as this was all going on, people thought the strait was open. So an Indian flagged vessel, okay, drove through the strait, and then Iran fired towards it. They didn't fire at it. It was not missiles. It was guns. But they fired in its general direction. And then it got really confused. And the Indian vessel was like, but you told me I could go through the strait. You want to hear the audio of it? It's actually pretty ridiculous. Now, one of the accounts from Iran, one of the PhDs, he said, the sound of war is gradually being heard. And frankly, this is probably your last night off. Hello, Soul Controller. It's so good to see you. Hello, Chris. How are you? And Real and Raturo and Standing Stones and Miss Clutch and Tiffany Bob. It's so good to see so many of you. And Interpret Towel. Hello, Washcloth. So, you know, we were all excited. We were all happy. A lot of us thought we were on the verge of peace. Things were going in a really good direction. I was getting ready to, you know, travel the world, go with Towel Girlfriend, run for president. Everything was going to be fine. That's what I thought. I thought everything was going to be fine. But, all right. First of all, I don't really know how to tell you this. But, like, I woke up this morning, all right, and I just wanted to watch the press conference at the White House, okay? And I'm just an amiable, just a little towel, you know, and I'm thinking maybe Mr. President Trump will talk about Iran. He said there's going to be some kind of special guest, so maybe it'll be like the ghost of Bob Hope. I don't know. I thought it would be just something absurd to kind of take, like, the edge off the intensity of the war. Because he told the reporters on Air Force One last night, and then the Pool report said that he wasn't going to talk about Iran. So I'm like, what could Mr. President Trump possibly want to talk about at 9 a.m. at the White House on a Saturday? I'm about to tell you something that you are not going to take seriously, and then I'm going to play you the video to prove it. Mr. President Trump, by executive order, decriminalized psychedelics. All of them, like MDMA and LSD and DMT and Ibogaine. He just was like, Joe Rogan called me and told me to legalize all the drugs, and then he did. And then he scolded Pam Bondi in the Oval Office. It was like, she's slow walking me on federal cannabis descheduling. You might be saying to yourself, Grant, this is a skit. Grant, no, the president did not legalize psychedelic drugs at 9 a.m. during an impromptu press conference with Joe Rogan. Yes, he did. He absolutely legalized psychedelic drugs. I could not tell you. I need to decompress. You don't understand. It wasn't even like, we're going to consider it. He was just like, screw it. I don't want to waste time. I'm ordering them to legalize psychedelic drugs. I was like, what? Has he become a hippie? It was great. I was like, wait a minute. Are we at war, or is he a hippie? You gotta listen to this. Nobody knew this was coming. No, you must understand. Nobody actually knew this was gonna happen. I was watching with Towel Girlfriend, and I was like, he's gonna say something absurd. Where like he's gonna announce we annex Canada. He gets up there. No, you gotta watch it. I'm telling you. Listen, I know we're going to have to get to some more intense topics, but we got to start with the legalization of drugs. Nobody saw this one coming. It was the ultimate swerve. Drugs are legal now. I really didn't think he was gonna pull the legalize all the drugs card. No, that was as good as the guy who in the comments, when he got asked why he was being mean to other people, his defense was the French did Vietnam. Oh, okay, I'm gonna play it for you. No, you gotta listen to this. You don't understand. He actually did it. It wasn't a joke. He didn't go halfway. He didn't say we're gonna study it. This man got up there and legalized drugs in the middle of a war. I'm honestly shocked he didn't legalize blow. Screw it. The 80s were alright. What's the worst that could happen? I'm not kidding you. I get to actually update you on the news. This is what happened at the White House. I'm not kidding you. This was this morning. I get to actually tell you about this as serious news. The whole world was thinking this was going to be about Iran. He legalized drugs. It was the greatest thing you've ever seen.
Buddy, it's a little bit unusual, right?
George, I know. God bless you, though. God bless you, George. Go Cubbies.
Has that ever happened before?
Thank you for your support, George.
It's very important what we're doing. So, as you
I'm not
see,
kidding.
a lot of the people behind
Get ready for it.
this profession.
Nobody knew this was coming.
And some military, like Marcus, some great military professionals too. Real hero.
Greatest day of my
Pleased
life.
to announce historic reforms to dramatically accelerate access to new medical research.
Oh, he already legalized cannabis. He's gonna go turn to Pam Bondi, the Attorney General, and be like, "Why you slow walking me on the cannabis descheduling? Make it legal. It'll play out for years." And just so everyone understands, he doesn't need an act of Congress. He just can order his Attorney General to make drugs legal, and he's about to do that. That's Joe Rogan, the podcaster. Wait till you hear how this played out. Hold on, just wait. It's even. If you think it's good, it's even better. Whatever you think this is about to be, I promise you, this was this morning at the White House. It's even better than you imagined. Yes, there are updates about the war, but I have to show you what the president of the United States has legalized a lot of drugs, and you're not going to believe
Medical
it.
professionals most, and some military, like Marcus, some great military professionals too. Real hero. Today I'm pleased to announce historic reforms to dramatically accelerate access to new medical research and treatments based on psychedelic drugs. In many cases, these experimental treatments have shown life-changing potential for those suffering from severe mental illness and depression, including our cherished veterans. Our veterans are having a tremendous hard time. The suicide rate, we have it down a little bit, but they are having a hard time. And I got a call.
By the way, as much as I make fun of this, he goes a little overboard. It's actually a serious issue. Our veterans are really looking for alternative health care that will help them with their PTSD. That part of this I really support. I just don't I'm in favor of, more access to alternative therapies. I didn't know he was gonna legalize all the drugs and LSD. I didn't see this coming. I mean, I'm cool with it, bro. I'm totally down with it, but I just didn't see this coming. I thought it would take a few years.
From a number of people, including the great Joe Rogan, and he said, we have to do something about this. And I looked into it. I called Bobby, I called Oz, I called Marty and Jay, and it was uniform support. And I said, so why would we wait 3 or 4 years to get it done? Or 10 years, frankly. Let's get it done immediately, and that's what happened. This has probably never been anything happened so quickly. Everybody is so strongly in favor of this. It's for a lot of people, but it's for our military in particular. The suicide epidemic among veterans is a national tragedy. Since 9/11, we've lost over 21 times more veteran lives to suicide than on the battlefield. So we lose, think of that, 21 times more. And today we're bringing them new hope. I think you're going to see a big difference and a big reduction in that number. I want to thank Secretary of Health and Human Services, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who's a fantastic, where are you, Bob?
Over here.
Where is he? Always makes it difficult. Huh? He's done a great job, too. And people love him. And more importantly, your wife is here someplace, Bobby. She's out there. Where are you? Where are you? The real boss in the family. Yeah. It's fantastic. Thank you very much for being here. As well as FDA Commissioner Marty McCary CMS Administrator, Dr. Mehmet Oz, NIH Director, Dr. Jay Bhattacharya. See how easy that name is? You know, it used to give me a little trouble. That was a tough name. Congressman Morgan Luttrell, who's a friend of mine and he's a real war hero. He knows something that a lot of us will never find out about. Retired U.S. Navy SEAL Marcus Luttrell, the two of them. I don't know what's in your blood, fellas. You guys are good mom and dad.
My mom and dad.
Yeah, good somebody. Good to have you. And Joe Rogan is a fantastic person. We did a little interview before the election. We had over 300 million people. And I said, oh man, I hope Kamala doesn't do it. And she didn't. He wanted her to do it, but she didn't. Somebody else could explain why. I could tell you why. But along with many other, because she didn't want to, with many other veterans. And I just want to thank the people behind me are outstanding. It's an amazing group. The executive order I'm signing, we're actually signing the executive order today, is really a moment. It directs the FDA to expedite their review of certain psychedelics already designated as breakthrough therapy drugs.
Just so you understand what he legalized today, let me just have British Reporter tell you some of the drugs that are breakthrough therapy drugs that the president legalized out of nowhere this morning, before we can even get to the
Conversation. President Donald Trump is moving to legalize medical access, on the federal level, to psychedelic drugs. Mr. President also, during the press conference, personally directed Attorney General Pam Bondi to move quickly on cannabis descheduling. They're slow-walking me on rescheduling, the president said. The announcement was just made at the White House this morning. President Trump will expedite their review of breakthrough therapy drugs in the psychedelic category. Those drugs include MDMA, midamphetamine, granted in 2017 for the treatment of post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. While it showed promising Phase 3 results, the FDA declined approval in August 2024, requesting another trial. Psilocybin, COMP 360, granted in 2018 for treatment-resistant depression, TRD, and in 2019 for major depressive disorder, MDD. Trials are ongoing. Psilocybin, Usona Institute, granted in 2019 for the treatment of major depressive disorder, MDD. CYB003, deuterated psilocybin analog, granted in March 2024 for the adjunctive treatment of major depressive disorder, MDD. MM120, LSD tartrate, granted in March 2024 for generalized anxiety disorder, GAD. BPL003, 5-MeO-DMT, granted in 2025 for treatment-resistant depression. Levocilocin, RE104, granted for the treatment of postpartum depression. Ebogame. There has never been anything that has happened so quickly. This is for our military, in particular. We lose 21x more veterans to mental health than we do on the battlefield, and this will bring our veterans big hope, said the president. You can't even get pain medication for severe pain anymore.
I know.
If it grows, you should have access.
I agree. That was our comment.
Conversation.
So let me just say, this was a big deal. I'm going to play you one of the veterans who spoke. I'm going to play you a clip from him. I thought this was a very powerful speech. As much as this confused half the world, I also thought what this veteran said was incredibly important.
I've had no trouble speaking.
I want to assure you that my presence here is the most concrete affirmation that God has a wonderful sense of humor. Thank you. Thank you. Federal prohibition of psychedelic medicine in America is over. On the 250th year, on the 250th year of our nation's founding, everyone who has fought for this day through decades of monumental struggle, sacrifice, and suffering can now declare a seminal victory for life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, rights we bear as images of our eternal Creator, whose essence is almighty, eternal, unconditional love for each and every one of us. This is the end of the beginning. We have moved mountains, yet there are mountains to move. Government systems which have relentlessly suppressed psychedelics are the same systems which will now manage their emergence. We dare not let our guard down for 1 second and be hair trigger ready to impose accountability for incompetence, obstruction, or failure. Credit belongs where credit is due. With this executive order, President Trump has delivered an epic victory for all humanity. I thank him for having the courage to make this happen, and my mission brother, Joe Rogan, for having the spine to make the ask. To our brothers and sisters in Gabon, you have our deepest gratitude for your stewardship of the sacred tree grown for the healing of nations. I will do my best to deliver the respect and honor you deserve for helping heal this nation. It is my joy to deliver these good tidings unto the meek, which will hopefully bind up the brokenhearted, proclaim liberty to the captives, and the opening of the prison to all who are bound. God bless you, and God bless America.
Thank you.
Now listen, I think that was a great speech, but I just want to let you know that Mr. President that was great, but the world was, trying to hear what Mr. President was going to say about Iran. Imagine the IRGC and the foreign minister tuning into this, and they're like, all right, what's he going to do now? And then they're having it translated from English to Farsi, and they're like, he's legalizing for medical purposes drugs, and then the foreign minister and the IRGC guy are like, drugs? He's talking about drugs? What drugs? Like pharmaceutical drugs? The translator's like, no, he's talking about like psychedelic drugs. And the IRGC guy's like, psychedelic drugs? What? Oh, to be a fly on the wall in that IRGC bunker as they watch the president during war legalize psychedelic drugs. They must have been like, what the hell is going on right now? Now, mind you, it's not for recreational use, but the point is, it really is a big step to deschedule, because the way it works in America, federally, we have Schedule 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. If it's a Schedule 1 drug, you can't even do research. It has no medical benefits. He just removed them all at once. He ended like MK Ultra, MK Project. He ended it all, like all the weaponized like trials by the government. They really messed with psychedelics. They weaponized it. He just ended everything. I mean, and now he's going to let scientists research it. Mr. President was like, Ibogaine's good for depression? I'd like to try some. Like, you could tell he's just like, I want to bring peace. He wants us all to do drugs, apparently. If that's apparently we're all supposed to just do drugs and feel better. What happened to Mr. President overnight? I'm serious. I've never seen such a trend. Like, this is a big change. It's not a little thing. It has serious implications for the way federal law enforcement looks at, like, psychedelics. Dude, Ronald Reagan would have vomited if he heard this happened. The Republican Party, like, I don't even know what to say. It's the biggest change in American drug policy in 50 years. And it happened because Mr. President was like, I think this will help people be more happy. Wow. I mean, I didn't really have time to talk about it today because I was just, hanging with Towel Girlfriend, being a towel. But my point is, that's actually, it's just, I cut it. I did cut the news clips. I wrote it up. I posted them. They're all over my other feeds. But my point is, I didn't really think about how big of a deal this was until right now. It's actually a monumental change in the United States, federally, on the state level. There are people who aren't going to know what to do. I'm pretty sure they're all just doing drugs. Like, all the people who do those drugs for medical purposes, like, they're just gonna start doing those drugs. They just got like a permission slip. The federal governments, they will enforce trafficking laws, obviously. I'm not a lawyer, this is not legal advice, but he basically just told the federal government, like, go, like, tell the scientists, like, give them a lot of MDMA and LSD, and just, like, go have them, like, see if it will make people happy. Like, just go have them doing drugs. Good, have fun. Good luck. You figure it out. That was great. I don't know what to tell you. America is a different place now. I told you we were in a new era. Yeah, and the thing is, these aren't like profitable drugs either. You're not going to make money off these drugs. That's why they were never legal. They're just kind of like drugs to help your mental well-being. I don't know how to explain it. They're not like heroin and things like that. They're more like stuff you like do, and then like a doctor supervises it, and then you like feel happier. And Ibogaine, like the studies Joe Rogan was saying at the White House, I'm not a doctor, so this was at the White House. Joe Rogan was saying that the studies on Ibogaine are very promising, and they show people who are addicted to opiates when they take Ibogaine. There's like studies that show they're less likely to relapse, like by a lot, like a high percentage. So they want people on this stuff. It's like you don't do it every day. It's more like a medically assisted treatment, but it's wild because it changes a lot of federal regulations. Like doctors can now, well, as a news program, I could always talk to you about like the regulatory schema, but now like other channels, because of the way federal law works, they can have doctors on who like talk about these treatments. They can advertise them on everything, and it happens like in 90 days too. So you'll see like LSD treatments, MDMA you're going to be able to like go to the doctor and be like, I want to roll on Molly, and the doctor's going to be like, oh yeah, but you got to do it at like a clinic with like a doctor, and you'll be like, that's cool, can I do it for like 8 weeks once a week? And the doctor will be like, that's probably a little much, but like maybe like 8 weeks like once a month, or like 3 months once a month. And then, or you could be like, doctor, I think I'm like sad and I want to like go trip LSD for like 12 hours in a safe environment, and the doctor can prescribe you LSD. It's like a really crazy change in U.S. drug policy. I can't even imagine how the world is reacting to this. Because the whole reason we have the International Conventions on Narcotics is because of the U.S. Federal Scheduling of Narcotics Act of 1971. Mr. President Trump just threw it all out. Listen, the people in jail for that stuff are going to have to be immediately released. Like simple possession. We're probably going to have to release some of the traffickers too. It just doesn't make sense to keep them in jail when you're going to let scientists like use this and like doctors prescribe it. It's going to be crazy. We're going to go through like a revolution in like a month. Watch what happens. It's just going to flood onto the market in like 90 days. It's going to start now because no one's going to enforce it. All the precursors and analogs, they'll just let it flow. It's going to be crazy. They're going to get rid of production quotas on the precursors. It's going to be the craziest thing you've ever seen in your entire life. There's going to be more LSD and MDMA flooding this country than you can imagine. I think they want that too. They seem to think it's going to make us all like very happy and hippie-like. I mean, okay, we're going to be very happy. You're certainly going to cure the depression problem. I don't even know what to say. It's going to be really interesting. It's going to be like the 60s. But they won't go back. So it'll just kind of be like you can just go roll like on the weekends if you want to like feel better. Which is the craziest thing. Like overnight, I didn't think it would happen. It will take 90 days for him to actually do it. But they're going to do it. And it will be controlled. You have to like go into a controlled setting. It's gonna be wild. But the point for like the regulatory schema is they won't enforce it. They really enforce Schedule 1 drugs federally. They won't enforce it. They're just gonna let it flow. And like a lot of this stuff, like LSD is just paper. It's like liquid on blotter paper. So it's not like what you stop is the precursor chemicals. So if you open the floodgates on the precursors, drugs are just going to flood, like not hard drugs. This is actually the only solution to the drug problem. You have to flood the streets with drugs that aren't opiates. It's a genius plan. There's gonna be so much I don't even know if the American public is ready for this. You're not gonna have seen this. If you were alive in the 60s, you might have seen it, maybe in the like early 70s. But I don't care how well connected you are. I don't care what you've seen. You are not ready for what you're about to experience. It's very likely some of you will get to hold 2 ounces of rock molly like on the regular. You'll be able to easily like hold like 1,000 tabs of blotter paper just for fun. It won't even be a difficult commodity to obtain because the way they restrict the production of these drugs is through the import of the precursor chemicals. And if it's scientifically researched, they're going to flood the market with it. It's going to be crazy. We're going to see. It's going to happen in like 3 months. I don't even know what to say. Listen, this is going to be a hell of a summer. This is going to be like the summer of love. I don't think any of you are ready for it. If you live domestically, you're never have going to. It's going to be the most fascinating. We're going to have so much good music. We're going to have so much fun. This is going to be a very fun summer as long as this war ends. I think that I'm almost convinced now that the war is going to end. There might be a little more fighting before they get to a like resolution, but I'm almost convinced the war is going to end. And then we're going to have the Republicans, apparently President Trump, without like even telling the Republican Party, decided that he was going to win the midterms by just recreating the summer of love. This is going to be great. It's going to be the greatest thing ever. There's going to be so many fun concerts. If you live in America, you got very lucky, especially if like you're planning to have a lot of fun this summer. I hope a lot of you are ready to relive your childhoods. It's going to be great. Hello, a voice of American culture. How you doing? Are you our friend one? It's okay. We'll play the song for you if you are. All right, let's go to war news. Now that you all know that drugs are just gonna, not hard drugs. It's not like opiates. The plan, I think I kind of see the plan. So we got this problem in America where like people are like doing a lot of like opiate analogs. Like they like, it's really sad. Like either like they like get like fake pressed Emmys that are actually Fent, or like they just bang straight H, which is just like really bad, and it's a problem. It's like we kind of brush it under the rug, but like a lot of people have died, like a lot of people, and the problem in particular with our veterans is they'll go to the VA, who, and I've talked to a lot of our veterans about this because I had to like work with, not had to, but I was honored to be able to help our veterans in the context of the medical and adult use laws in Massachusetts. Like I did a lot of work to try to help veterans who felt like they weren't being heard in the regulatory and lawmaking process, just because I thought my friend Stephen Mandilli and my friend Ellen Brown, I thought they were just really good people and the government wasn't listening to them, so I had to brute force it a little bit. But anyway, my point is, what our veterans have told me is that generally the VA will hand out pills like candy. That's the very common like phrase. They will, and I've interviewed Ellen and Steve on this channel before, and their perspective was very similar to this, which is like the VA will hand out pills and then they won't approve alternative treatments for people who don't want to be on pills. And so that's like why this is very important for our veterans. On another level though, this is very important because like people who have access to these drugs don't do as many hard drugs. Like if you give people Molly and LSD and things like that and mushrooms, which are called boomers, they don't like that's what the actual term is. It's not like a boomer isn't an old person, a boomer is a mushroom. But anyway, like the point is I think the plan is here, which is genius. We really gotta stop this like opiate epidemic. It's bad. And I'm not saying, like, listen, it's gotten so bad that people with, like, serious, I was reading on Twitter, people with, like, serious debilitating medical conditions, like, can't get their medicine because the opiate epidemic is so bad. So we gotta, like, rein this thing in. And the best way to do it is to flood the streets with drugs that are not harmful. And that's exactly what they just did. It's pretty genius. It's a Joe Rogan solution, which is kind of cool. Why not? Let's try it. So the idea is basically like make more LSD and MDMA and mushrooms available and ibogaine and other things, and then hope people do less opiates and like blow. That's the plan. That's what I think the plan is. It's crazy. I can't believe they're doing this, but it's the only solution. You have to make people happy. So if we can't like give them hope, in like the short term, I guess this will do. It actually does have positive mental effects too. So can't confer boomers and mushies. Yeah. So yeah, like I just think this was a big deal. It will change American society. It will make it like we're gonna have one of the craziest summers in like 50 years. I don't even know if people like the supply got so shut down. Just study it. You could study it in you have to study this to understand the way precursor chemicals like influence political policy. That's why I know about it. I study like the decisions about precursor chemicals from a regulatory perspective. It's very similar to like looking at the adult medical use market in Massachusetts. It's just a lot more sensitive. Like you should only know about that if you are regulating it. Like you're either like you need to know about it to regulate it, but you really don't need to know about it otherwise. Precursor chemicals are like what people would use, what scientists would use to make drugs. And the way the government stops the production of these drugs, in particular LSD, MDMA, is they restrict the import of the precursor chemicals. They're just going to let it run wild now, which means it kind of flows everywhere. Once you have precursor chemicals out there, they just flow. So it was a huge deal. I don't know why it just happened on a Saturday morning. I really can't explain that to you. I have my thoughts. I think it's because the war has just gone so badly. Mr. President kind of realized, like, listen, like, it doesn't matter so much what happens day to day in negotiations. What matters is your legacy. Like, the minutia of negotiations are not going to define your legacy. What's going to define your legacy is, like, what policies you left that will, continue after your term. And also, if you're Benjamin Netanyahu, how many people did you kill? Which is a lot. I kind of see Mr. President Trump as ready to move forward. He wants to be, he really does, I truly believe, he wants to be known as someone who was able to, like, bring peace. I know it sounds oxymoronic because he started this war under pressure from Bibi, but it's still a bold step. If you assume Bibi was blackmailing him and his wife, Mr. President and his wife, if you assume Bibi was blackmailing them, then it is kind of a bold step to end a war that you started. So, I'm just saying, I think this was a sign. I do really fear that there are plans for a surprise attack on Iran in the next 24 to 48 hours. I'm just hoping they can off-ramp it. You got Pakistan, you got the Pope, and you got like half the world trying to get them to off-ramp it. Everyone knows Bibi's the problem. Okay? And that's where we're at. Why in the middle of these very sensitive negotiations did Mr. President legalize a bunch of drugs? I don't know. I don't know what to tell you about that. But that's like how the day started. So as a journalist and a news reporter, that's what I had to lead with. That's what I woke up with at 9 a.m. We would have taken it live, but I was a little tired. Molly, oh, yeah, so I do refer to Molly as MDMA. Maybe other people refer to it as something different, but I've always called it Molly. Oh, maybe George just did a typo. Yeah, Molly is just like not like ecstasy is cut and uphill, but Molly is just pure MDMA. And that's what Mr. President legalized. I don't even know what a lot of these like Google AdSense, a lot of these platforms are going to have to totally overhaul their rules because their rules are built around federal scheduling, and now the doctors can just like advertise their services. They got to change like all their rules. Ah, yeah, not a problem, George. It's a specific form of MDMA. It's actually probably what the doctors will use in a medical setting. Most doctors wouldn't use ecstasy because that's like a cut pill. You would use the chemical derivative, the pure chemical derivative, or the original chemical, which is MDMA, which is called Molly. The art of the deal is why he legalized some drugs. Damn right, water under the fridge. It was a genius move. Politically, 10 out of 10, bro. Honestly, 10 out of 10. And I tell you, honestly, most of the time. But, like, when I'm giving political ratings, I'm not supposed to be subjective. So when I say honestly, I mean removing my, like, personal feelings. I think this was a good move. Removing that entirely, this was a 10 out of 10 move. It was genius. Like, liberals love this. There were liberals today I was watching. I'm pretty, like, relevant. I'm not relevant, but people follow my feed in drug policy reform circles, obviously. So I was watching them react today. A lot of them are liberals. They were stunned. They were blown away. They were like, what? What? A lot of them said, wow. They couldn't believe it. He may actually be able to keep the... Remember, he wants to win the midterms. And he wants policies that people love. And people are going to love this policy. First of all, they're going to be so high. I'm sure they're just going to just be like, well, screw it. It's going to be great. America's about to completely change. I don't even know what it's going to be like. It's going to be a lot of love. A lot of, like, flowers. A lot of, like, hippie music. I'm down with it, bro. We need like a summer of love. This is gonna be great. We gotta have lots of concerts. It's gotta be like a full, oh, it's the 250th anniversary. Oh, this is gonna be the greatest summer ever. I'm telling you right now, if you have not prepared already, and you are in the United States, first of all, come here and visit us this summer. I want to see all of you. Second of all, get ready for what's going to be the greatest and most liberating 3 months of your life. Like, you should prepare now. June, July, and August, and into September are going to be epic. And then I'm going to hang out with George and watch the Cubbies play the Red Sox at the end to cap it all off with Towel Girlfriend Nikki. It's going to be awesome. You all can come. George, I got a plan, by the way. We got to talk to Nikki. I got a plan for how we're going to do one of the Red Sox games. I'm going to call a friend. I'm going to try to get us a unique experience. Alright, my point is, it's going to be the greatest summer since 1969. They're going to write songs about this summer. You will tell, well, first of all, if you have grandchildren, probably don't tell them about this summer. If you don't have grandchildren, you're definitely going to tell them about this summer when you have them. They can legalize whatever. Bottom line is, it's cheaper to let the streets feed you. Insightful and erudite words, as always, my dear friend. Very insightful. Water under the fridge is a genius. I truly believe water under the fridge. Water under the fridge. Will you be in my kitchen cabinet? You can be the fridge. You see where I went with that one? I'm a genius. I'm oblivious. Alright, let's update. That was our fun. I'm only going to get to do that once in my life. Only once in my life, off the top, to do a serious news program. Am I going to get to tell you that the President of the United States legalized psychedelic drugs because Joe Rogan told him to? God, I love this country. I think a lot of the other countries are like, oh, now I get why America's awesome. Oh, goodness. All right, let's do the hard war news now. All right, so let's take a look. Let's take a listen to this really good interview, just a clip earlier from one of the former ministers of Qatar talking about the situation in the Strait. It was a really good preview of what happened later in the day. So let's listen to a few minutes.
Thank you, Sam, for having me. No, actually, I'm not surprised because even late last night here in Qatar and in the GCC, the fact that the so-called open but controlled strait was unclear, and anything that is this vital and this murky and it's an explanation, it shouldn't surprise us if it changes again and multiple times.
A difficult situation, though, isn't it, for the vessels that are currently in the strait?
And it's absolute difficult situation, but more importantly, it's an extremely dangerous situation. The strait is a very narrow, passage, and if, God forbid, it get blocked by any damage or anything happening to any of those ships, that could have trade and environmental ramifications beyond this war.
What do you make of reports, pretty well substantiated reports, that the IRGC has sent a couple of gunboats out to fire upon some of the vessels?
Well, if these reports are true, it's very reckless behavior by the IRGC. It wouldn't be the first reckless behavior by them, but this is a situation that shows dysfunction in the system over there, or whatever the government's saying, the IRGC seem to be doing the exact opposite. The only hope is really for the US and Iran to sit down and have serious negotiations, because this is, while a welcomed ceasefire, clearly is not achieving its goals yet, and we're running out of time.
The Supreme Leader has put a message on Telegram this morning saying that the Iranian Navy, which we'd been told by the US administration had been as good as destroyed, would be inflicting harm on bitter harm on its enemies. Do you find, what do you interpret from that statement in terms of the mindset going into, hopefully, the next set of negotiations on Wednesday?
Well, I have some bad news about that. Let's take a look at the latest update, just coming in from Ali Hashim. All right. Not Ali Hashim. This actually comes in through the Hormuz newsletter. Let's take a listen.
Conversation. Breaking. A source close to Iran's parliament speaker Ghalibaf says radio silence, combat force positioning, equipment transfers, and US-Israeli coordination suggest America may intend to initiate military engagement before the end of the 2-week ceasefire. The source adds that Iran has fully utilized the ceasefire to develop game-changing operational plans and is ready for confrontation.
So, I think you see now my concern. That's why I wanted to get the somewhat amiable news out of the way. Now to the Pope, who was speaking this morning on his airplane while on his way to his final stop in Africa during his 11-day apostolic journey, which I believe concluded in Cameroon today.
There's been a certain narrative that has not been accurate in all of its aspects, but because of the political situation created when on the first day of the trip, the President of the United States made some comments about myself. Much of what has been written since then has been more commentary on commentary, trying to interpret what has been said. Just one little example, the talk that I gave at the prayer meeting for peace a couple days ago was prepared 2 weeks ago, well before the president ever commented on myself and on the message of peace that I am promoting. And yet, as it happens, it was looked at as if I was trying to debate again the president, which is not in my interest at all. And there's been a...
Okay, so that was the latest from the Holy Father. Here was the Vice President's response to this. Let's see how he did.
Conversation. I am grateful to Pope Leo for saying this. While the media narrative constantly gins up conflict, and yes, real disagreements have happened and will happen, the reality is often much more complicated. Pope Leo preaches the gospel, as he should, and that will inevitably mean he offers his opinions on the moral issues of the day. The President and the entire administration work to apply those moral principles in a messy world. He will be in our prayers, and I hope it will be in his.
Much better. See how much more toned down that is? That's the right response. Things are calming down a little bit. And I didn't like to see the Pope fighting with my government. I didn't like to see my government fighting with the Pope. A lot of people in my government in the United States are Catholic, and I really did not like some of what they were saying about their own Pope. Like, it bordered on schism. Like, schism-like behavior. Like, some of them were trying to, like, suggest the Pope shouldn't be, like, talking about, like, the gospel. I was very confused. I was like, have you read Matthew 25:31 through 46? Like, of course he should be talking about the gospel, like, in the context of the most vulnerable, especially during war. That's what Jesus wants. Like, I've read the Bible. I haven't read it all. I'm trying to read. So my goal in reading all these different religious texts is manifold. But I have a personal like quest with the Bible because I want to personally understand the Gospels of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Then I want to compare them and contrast them and try to, for myself, see if I can discern like what was written first, what was written second, what was written third, and what was written fourth. I have an idea, but I want to do it myself. That's my personal lifetime project. There are people who have done scholarship related to this, and they have theories. Like, there's a lot of religious, theological scholarship about the order of the books, of those 4 books in particular, of the Gospels. And I want to figure it out for myself. So that's my overarching lifetime goal, to figure out, like, my own theory of what order the books of the Bible were written. But it's kind of a good microcosm for sort of, like, my overarching approach to religious texts. I find them very interesting. I value them a lot. So that's why I was so happy to learn I was allowed to read the Holy Quran on the stream with our Muslim brothers and sisters. I was so happy. I didn't know if you were allowed to or not. And I also want to learn about the Jewish text, and I want to learn about the pagan text, not the Canaanite text, the pagan text, you know, because the pagans like the trees, and I like the trees. So, okay, let's learn a little bit about what's going on in Tel Aviv tonight, where there are massive crowds on the street, obviously, protesting against Bibi Netanyahu, protests that have spread as far north as Haifa.
Are you proud of being an Israeli at the moment?
No.
We must stop these wars. There's endless wars. It's useless.
We definitely have to stop using force to solve it.
We're in the middle of Jerusalem, and behind me is a pretty substantial protest.
I think this was a short segment from a larger Sky report earlier tonight. By the way, this just came out. These are scenes from Tel Aviv tonight. Excellent reporting.
A whole series of groups have come together to express the hatred of the government.
Oh, you'd love it, Mercury Star. You'd have so much fun with the Towel Moms. We just check in. It's not constant chatting. It's public. It's like the YouTube chat, but just like throughout the day. We're always talking about things, saying hi, posting cat pictures, doggo pictures. Kofi makes an appearance from time to time. Kofi's Towel Mom, Bunny's guard dog. He protects Bunny from the horses.
They're not just anti-Netanyahu.
And of course, Mr. Rockstar makes an appearance. Did you know, well, before I go back to this report, I just want to tell you, one of the benefits of being a Towel Stream member is you can actually post Towel Mom Dog's Bunnies, Towel Bunny Mom's dog Kofi, and you can post Miss Rockstar's cat. His name is Mr. Rockstar. You can also post Primo's doggo, and you can post penguins. Towel Mom Lynn loves penguins. All right, let's continue.
These are also groups who say that democracy in Israel is under threat, and even a group of mothers of IDF soldiers protesting that they think that Israel has a track record of starting wars when it doesn't need to.
Israel prides itself as being the only democracy in the region, but these protesters insist their government is malign and say the world can see it.
They see our country already turning into a fascist dictatorship that hates all foreigners, that is ready to kill and go on for an unending war.
I mean, Netanyahu would say Israel has been surrounded by enemies and that it has to be strong in defense. You make enemies into allies. You make peace, you do diplomacy, you don't go to war time after time. Our Prime Minister has sworn that his vision of the future is that we will live forever by the sword. He said that, and I'm not willing to go that direction. Are you proud of being an Israeli at the moment?
No.
What is your emotion?
I feel that it's a country that has already gone quite a way towards an authoritarian regime that has committed crimes. So
these are citizens of Israel. I hope you all are listening to this. I made a lot of points on this stream over the past month about how I really felt the Israeli people deserved to be heard, and their voices were definitely censored during the war. But listen, I knew I was right because I saw some of them commenting in chat. They're very sympathetic to the populations their government is attacking And I just want you to hear them say it.
Not make me proud.
The protest followed by both police and military. There were a few isolated scuffles. In a country where right-wing politicians dominate, many of these people feel their views go unheard.
We must stop these wars. There's endless wars. It's useless. It's only bringing us only disasters. Nothing good comes out of it.
We have to get to a peaceful solution. We have to get to some sort of a political solution. We have to talk to our neighbors. We have to talk to the Palestinians. We have to talk to the Palestinian citizens of Israel. And we definitely have to stop using force to solve everything.
Well, not everyone here is happy about these protests.
I mean, can you get... it's not everyone, obviously, but those are real people in Israel. And I know Iran knows this. I know that both sides, all sides, are aware that Benjamin Netanyahu is not the people of Israel. That's why it's probably such a tough position, because he does use them. Bibi uses them as a shield. When Bibi does stuff, he knows that Tehran is going to punish Israel by bombing the civilians and using psychological warfare. They can keep them up all night with alarms. All right? And Bibi can probably sleep in his bunker. All right? But they can't. It's like a shared bunker. It's complicated. They have to go to their protected space. It's shared. They're very territorial. It causes psychological warfare. I censored it during the war because it was not appropriate to show. But there were people who in Israel who were jumping off buildings by the end of the 40 days. Now, I got to turn with God's grace and blessing, I got to turn the alarm software off on my phone from like 2 a.m. to 7 a.m. my time most days of that war. I had it on for 40 something days in a row. I think it actually was starting, I'm not even under the bombs, I think it was starting to drive me like to psychological sort of like sympathy with the people who were experiencing the alerts. I started to like not like having the alarm off app, the alert app off at night because I didn't know if people were okay. I had it on for every city, I still do, in the entire country of Israel. And it causes psychological trauma to the population because unlike me, who's reporting on this and is blessed by God to be able to not be under the bombs, the people under the bombs have to wake up and go into their shelters when they get the alerts. It causes psychological trauma. They started to ignore the alerts, and then that's when they would get hurt. And so it became this really, like, they were throwing themselves off buildings, especially in the north. I watched a video, I would never show it to you, but I will describe it because Pope Leo said I have a duty and other journalists to tell you the reality of war. I watched a man throw himself off a building in northern Israel. It was like 7 stories up. It's burned into my retinas. I would never show it here because I think it's too traumatizing, but I must tell you. And I censored it for like 3 weeks. I didn't even report on it because it was that traumatizing. I watched a man content warning, I watched a man throw himself off a building. And I'm reporting this for journalistic purposes to explain to you the impact of the psychological trauma of being under missile alerts for 46 days in a row. He was in the north. Hezbollah had it was maybe like day like 38, 39, right before the ceasefire. Hezbollah had just bombed. It was either near Netanya or Kiryat Shimona or another city in the north. His building was bombed. He jumped off the building to his death. I watched him. There was no fire near him. He just couldn't take it anymore. I watched him jump to his death. It was the saddest thing. I watched another woman whose son had been killed, an Israeli woman whose son had been killed either in the fighting or in a bombing from Hezbollah or Iran, take out a knife near a bus. It was 2 weeks or 3 weeks in, and just start like swinging around like butcher knives outside of a bus in the north. She had lost it. And she was like swinging butcher knives at people. They had to like disarm her. She was like a 70-year-old woman. So I know what Bibi has done to the population. That's why I tried to emphasize to people who in the chat who would sort of fall into this Bibi trap where they would think Bibi was speaking for the people of Israel. I was like, you must understand, he's using them as a shield to protect himself from jail. That's why Iran probably doesn't know what to do. And I don't think the U.S. knows what to do either. They just have to get Bibi out of there. And we're really close to that. I think the people of Israel are fed up. I think they're the ones who inevitably are going to throw Bibi out of office and jail him. It's just like, it's a shame that it can't happen quicker. Because the geopolitical reality is such that Iran cannot let Bibi just go out there and maraud and hope that the people of Israel fix it eventually. Bibi's shown an incredible, although that word is inappropriate, it's not actually like impressive, but it's almost like dumbfounding, the ability, Bibi's political ability to survive. He manages to hold on to power like no one you would believe, and only like a combination of the international community plus the domestic Israeli polity is going to get him out. And Bibi is the single thing standing between the world and peace. I really don't think it's the Strait of Hormuz. I think that's like the cover issue, because the reality is nobody knows what to do with Bibi. Speaking of not knowing what to do with Bibi, here's just one example of the pain that not the people of Israel, but Benjamin Netanyahu inflicted on the people of Lebanon. Here's a man returning to his home, hopefully permanently, because this war will end if Bibi just stops and someone muzzles him politically, and as to his army. This is a man returning to his home in Beirut. Let me give you the exact city. This is the southern suburb of Beirut. Now tell me, this man's not a combatant. He was a civilian. He's not going to like a Hezbollah military post. He's going to his home. It's gone. His home is gone. He did live there. That's his address. His car is somewhere under the rubble. I think it's playing some like song, some sad song. Yeah. It's playing like a song. There's a chicken. He's climbing on the rubble of his own home. This is why this war has to stop. They need time to rebuild their homes. These aren't military outposts. The people of Lebanon were slaughtered. They didn't take their homes, they bombed their homes. And Israel to this moment is trying to impose a 10-kilometer buffer zone called the Yellow Line in the south. It only controls like maybe 20 villages. It's trying to claim it controls 55, and it's threatening to bomb civilians who go into areas of their own country that Israel doesn't control. Israel, by the way, should not be controlling any areas of Lebanon, whether it be the 22 villages in the 4-kilometer stretch above the blue line that they actually control, or the 55 villages in the 10-kilometer yellow line they're trying to impose. They need to get out of there entirely, and the reason why is because it's not just up to them. Iran is the one who has the hand here, and if Bibi continues to push on the Lebanon issue, then Iran is not going to let this war end. Therefore, it's Bibi's selfishness and his track record of slaughtering civilians that has brought us to the precipice yet again of another conflict where innocent people will die because Benjamin Netanyahu is too cowardly to face the criminal consequences of his behavior in the form of a district court trial in Jerusalem. That's the reality. I think President Trump can get us out of it. He doesn't fear anybody. I don't care if you're Benjamin Netanyahu or Beelzebub. President Trump will, if he needs to, tell Benjamin Netanyahu what he needs to do. We control that defense budget. We control their arms sales, the arms sales to them. Benjamin Netanyahu will yield. He might not like it, because it's not just a loss for him politically. He has to go to jail, because if the war ends, his trial continues. That's what this is all about, and everyone knows it. Nobody wants to say it, which I think is kind of cowardly. But that's what this war is really about. It's not about regime change in Iran or even the nuclear dust. I find that a very vacuous term. Just call it nuclear material. Or ideally, call it what it is, 60% enriched uranium. My point is, though, it's not really about that. It's really about Bibi being selfish and not wanting to go on trial, thus causing a war. Hello, Yolande. It's so good to see you. Yolande, I agree. We gotta listen to, let's see, is this an Epstein file one? I have a good one about the First Lady in the Epstein files. Let's see if I can find it for you, Yolande. Because our dear friend Yolande is here. You know we gotta play a track. Yolande's got to look more into my Epstein file research. Yolande, you'd love it. I tore those files apart. Which one's this one? Oh, here's another Kash Patel one. Here, I'll find you the one I was looking for, but here's a Kash Patel one called Kash Didn't Start the Fire. This one's going out to Yolande. By the way, this is for analytical purposes. Just look at how Iran is decimating us. They're putting out tracks about our domestic news updates as they're happening, and the tracks actually bought. Oh yeah, it's the Kash Patel song, you know it. I don't know where they get this stuff.
Crazy eyes, let's go. Kash Patel, crazy eyes, Epstein files, cover up lies. Trump name redacted, Congress stonewalled. Swore you drop him, but you crawled. Charlie Kirk shot, wrong guy in cuffs. We got him. Oops, total bust. Olympic hockey locker room champ, FBI jet to Milan. You absolute tramp. My side honeypot girlfriend.
Hi, Ifti Ahmad.
Am I fired? Meltdowns, what a leak out. Purging the pros, installing the bros. Private jets for the shows. Everybody knows we didn't start the fire. It was always burning, turning. We didn't start the fire. But when you're done, Kash, the whole bureau's burning. We didn't start the fire. It was always burning since the world's been turning.
Hi, Alpha Omega.
You're the one who's torching the whole damn thing. Atlantic expose, drunken MIA, missed briefings, hang over day. Paranoid rant, IT glitch freak. Wake me up, the bureau's weak. Five Eyes Summit, diva demands. Jet skis and soccer, ally slam. Taxpayer right for your Nashville gig. SWAT for the singer, what a rig. Fake gold medal beer with the team. See you in Valhalla Dream.
Hi, DD Tames. This stuff happened yesterday. They already had it out. Now, you know I got one more. I got a special one. First of all, hello, Alpha and Omega. For those of you who don't know, Alpha and Omega has a very special place in my heart. Many weeks ago during coverage of the war, Alpha Omega came on and said one of the most inspiring things I think I've ever heard any human being say ever, which is the quote, "The children of my enemy are not my enemies, and I will care for them as my own." I was so inspired by that, I never forgot it. I might actually get it tattooed at some point on my arm or something, and just attribute it to Alpha and Omega. That's how big of an impact Alpha and Omega made on my life, so God bless you, brother. It is very good to see you. And Ifti Ahmad, it is a dear pleasure. And Northside, it's great to see you. And hello, Nick. And Towel Mom Lynn. And Ifti Ahmad. And as I said, I have a special song for Yolande. So Yolande, this is a special dedication to you. I had to go on Twitter and find it. It is called The Epstein Queen. It's going out special dedication to our dear friend Yolande. Yes, there is a Lego song about the First Lady. It's called The Epstein Queen. Here you go, Yolan. Specially dedicated to you from your dear friend Towel. I hope you like it. I mean, we might have to run that again. That was really good. It was only like a minute or two.
I've never been.
It was real. I mean, that's like a beat. Kanye, where's this? Come on now. Where is anything like this in America? Come on. That's right, Lynn. You're right, Towel Mom. I mean, it's too good. I mean, seriously, Kanye, I mean, what's going on, bro? We need some beats like that. I think what Kanye should do is give away all his money, and then, like, let's go to IKEA, bro. I'll get you a bed. And then you can move back to, like, Chicago, you know, the west side. And that, like, I heard rents are going up on O Block to $1,900 a month, though, from 14. Let's just throw Kanye, like, back into that. You gotta get rid of your money to make good music, bro. Art comes from, like, struggle. The reason your art isn't what it used to be is because you have money. The problem is the money. So anyway, where is that in America? You know, I know tech can do that and low-key and stuff like that. I trust them to do music like that. I'm sure they have beats like that. But where is that in our popular discourse? Let's just start bumping that. We just need to play that in the we just need to play that in the suburbs, in the cities, in the country. The cows can listen to it. I'm sure Kofi can get down to it. Kofi's a dog, you know. Hi, Miss Missy, how you doing? Well, Silent Dogs, I'm not really even sure what you consider a real country to be. We've gone through a lot of things you don't consider to be a country. So we have to figure out first what you consider to be a real country. Once we figure that out, we can start. We'll find you a place to go. All right, let's take a listen to one of the members of the Iranian delegation. He gave a really good interview. This is Professor Marandi. He's been involved in 2 rounds of the nuclear negotiations. Water under the fridge. God bless you. You reminded me to start another goal. I forgot to giggle. I did play Lego videos for reaching our goal. I said, God bless you indeed. And I'll now start another goal because water under the fridge is just having a ball. I think Kanye should retire. Yeah, I think Kanye has some soul searching to do. He got kicked out of the UK. He couldn't go to the festival. He's not having a good time. All right, but for some context, this is actually a really important interview. This is with Professor Marandi. Professor Marandi was a member of the Iranian negotiating team during the June 2025 and April 2026 negotiations between Iran and the United States. This will be a very interesting 5-minute interview because I haven't heard this one. This is tonight. Al Mayadeen aired it. They only put a clip up, so we're going to listen to it. I'm really interested in what he has to say. He's one of the smartest English-speaking members of the Iranian delegation. Well, first of all, there's not that many English-speaking members of the Iranian delegation. Most of them speak Farsi. But of the people who speak English, he's a genius. I don't know how, other than Ali Hashim and Professor Casagrande, I don't know anyone who is smarter and knows more about Iran than this man. I think Ali Laranjani probably was up there, but he's dead, unfortunately, which is a shame. I think one of the biggest shames of this war is Ali Laranjani being murdered. Do you understand that Ali Laranjani, who was a member of the Iranian leadership, wrote a book himself, an academic commentary on Descartes? Please tell me who in the U.S. leadership has written an academic commentary on Descartes. My point is, don't underestimate Iran. First of all, don't underestimate Hezbollah. Second of all, or disrespect them. Second of all, don't underestimate Iran. The worst thing America ever did was try to frame Iran as this backwards third world country with no culture, no art, no academia, no intelligentsia. Not only do they come to play hard, they have thousands of years of history, they're very smart, they prepared, they have a good military, etc., etc. So just listen to one member, the English-speaking member of the Iranian negotiation team, Professor Marandi, on Al Mayadeen about 10 minutes ago about the current state of where we are.
Well, the gap between Iran and the United States is substantial. And I obviously cannot go into detail because I'm not privy to the negotiations that were taking place in Islamabad.
He was a member of the delegation, so he's not in the room. What he's saying is he's one of the experts they consult on specific subjects with. That's how a delegation works. He wasn't in the room.
Nor am I privy to the exchanges that have been taking place between the Americans and the Pakistanis and the Iranians. But what is clear is that the key issues that people know about are among the points where the two sides are very far apart. With regards to the nuclear program, the gap between the two sides is very great. Iran is not going to export its nuclear material. Iran is not going to relinquish its nuclear program, and it's not going to give up the right to nuclear enrichment. And so this is a huge gap. Iran, of course, is prepared to do what it has done before, and that is to have an arrangement where, like the JCPOA, or perhaps something better, because Iran was not very happy with the JCPOA, but a model in which, if the United States is seriously concerned about Iran's nuclear program, which I don't really think it is, because if you recall Joe Kent, the chief of U.S. counterintelligence, in his resignation letter, he said Iran is not pursuing nuclear weapons. So obviously the Americans know that Iran's nuclear program is peaceful. But if the United States really is concerned, there are models that can be worked out to ensure that the program is peaceful. The International Atomic Energy Agency can play a role in this regard. But there are other issues as well. The gap is wide on multiple issues. But one thing that is clear, and this I think, at least for me it is clear, and this I think has something that played out the other day, and that is that the United States is beginning to recognize that the global economic catastrophe that is unfolding, and we're only seeing the tip of the iceberg right now, it is real, and it is approaching. We've had almost 2 months now of shortages of oil, petrochemicals, fertilizer, LNG, and so on, and helium growing very rapidly. And especially during the last 10 days where we were supposed to have a ceasefire and Netanyahu wrecked it, that could have been eased somewhat, or at least the pace of the speed of the growing crisis could have slowed. But that hasn't happened. And I think one key reason why Trump actually put pressure on Netanyahu to accept the ceasefire is because the United States recognizes that if this ceasefire does not take place, then the global energy catastrophe will get much worse, much faster. That, I think, is the reason why Netanyahu was pushed to make this agreement. Of course, there was the additional threat made after Netanyahu on the first night refused to do so, to accept the ceasefire, where Iran threatened to fire missiles. But still, I think the resistance, the Hezbollah, its role, of course, was central. But I think the threat of global economic catastrophe, the looming threat of global economic catastrophe, worried the United States. And here, the United States had to prioritize its own interests over the Israeli regime's interests. But then it raises another question, and that is the question I asked of Scott, Mr. Scott Ritter, and that is that, well, if Trump could have used this as an off-ramp, and he could, after Iran opened the strait, then he could have lifted the siege. He didn't do so, and so this disaster continues to grow closer and more ominous. So I think it was an interesting episode, the fact that Netanyahu was forced to accept this ceasefire, because he obviously did not want to do it, and his coalition did not want to do it, and he was forced to do so. And I think that is a sign that if push comes to shove, the United States will prioritize its own interests over the Israeli regime's interests. I may be wrong, but that's how I understand it.
That's exactly my position. I want to talk to him. So I don't know how to interview him. He's really hard to reach. I have some interviews lined up, by the way, you're really going to like. Like, I can't believe they're not exactly. So there's one head of state I'm trying to interview. I can't confirm or deny whether I'm going to pull it off, but I'm trying. I'm trying to interview a head of state for you all. It's probably going to be pre-recorded if I can even get it. I can't. I'd say less than 20% chance on that. But there's another interview that I got that's really good. Well, it's not even like I just, by God's grace, came into contact with like a really cool interview subject who lines up with my academic sort of progeny. And I'm thrilled. I'm so excited. I really hope it happens. It's going to be pre-recorded. So once I record it, I'll tell you more. There's 2 interviews that I want to schedule. One of them is farther along scheduling-wise than the other. The other one, if I can pull off that one, that would be really cool. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. It's a long shot, but it might happen. It's a slim chance. I have to call in a few favors, but we'll see if I can get it pulled off. I have an idea. The second interview is not a head of state, but it's an even cooler perspective, and I think it's actually going to happen. I just gotta, there are certain terms for this interview to happen. The second one that I have to fulfill. It has to be pre-recorded, and then the person has to be able to review it, and then I can air it for you. But it's a very important. It would be great. Oh, Lynn, what did you do? You sent a gift? Lynn, I don't even know what a mystery gift is. Oh my goodness, Towel Mom Lynn has unlocked a new feature. I don't even know what a mystery gift is. I'm thrilled. Oh my goodness, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Water Under the Fridge says, after this is over, oh, Towel Mom, I get to do 2 celebrations. After this is over, I've been reading in different places that those that control Iran have been split into 3 groups that are infighting. Any thoughts on this? Kind of makes Trump tweets make some sense. Yes, I see 3 factions, but also I think there is one man who controls the 2 most powerful. I'll explain in a second. So first of all, I just want to say again, God bless Towel Mom Lynn, who has invented a new mechanism. I didn't even know this was a thing. I just want to take a moment to say Towel Mom Lynn is wonderful. And it's a little box with eyes, and it has a little bow. Listen. You don't understand. I've never even seen this before. Towel Mom Lynn has unlocked something I don't even understand. I just want to relish in the beauty of it. Then I'm going to answer Water Under the Fridge question. But can we just all say, Chat Mom Lynn loves penguins. So if you ever want to make Chat Mom Lynn happy, just show her some penguins. Also, Towel Mom Lynn, I went to Dunkin' Donuts today with my gift card. It was great. I actually was able to get the coffee free, but I put my gift card on the app, and I'm thrilled. You're wonderful, and that is it's like a smiling little gift box. You have made me radiate with joy. I am just so happy. Can't wait to, Towel Mom Lynn, Nikki and I, we definitely want to come meet you. We're gonna come hang out. It's gonna be great. I can't wait for you to meet Towel Girlfriend Nikki. She's very excited. She thinks you're wonderful. Okay. Thank you very much for that. I am so grateful. Now I want to answer Water Under the Fridge's question. I actually want to take a picture of this from my phone. I'm going to show Nikki. I think Nikki's sleeping. She's on South Africa time. If you haven't met Towel Girlfriend, she's wonderful. So Water Under the Fridge had a question which I'm going to answer. Water Under the Fridge says, after this is over, I've been reading in different places that those that control Iran have been split into 3 groups that are infighting. Any thoughts on this? Kind of makes Trump's tweets make some sense. So, yes, I agree. I think there is a divided, I'd say bifurcated control structure. I think trifurcated is pushing it a little bit. I understand where you're coming from. I think you have the IRGC army, which is its own thing, kind of. Then you have the IRGC, which is under the command of the Supreme National Council, which is itself under the command of the Supreme Leader. That's another distinct control structure. And then you have the political body. Now, as you know, Iran's parliament was created in 1906 or 7 as a response to British sort of petroleum-based colonialism. The British are really responsible for a lot of the problems in the Middle East. I think that's putting it lightly. But one of the things the British did was try to stop Iran from having a parliament. So because the British thought that in 1907, if the Iranians had a parliament, that the Iranian people would vote to overturn this ridiculous oil deal that the British had imposed, where the British got 84% or 86% of Iranian oil output, and Iran got to keep like 14%. And the British thought the Iranian people would change that deal in 1907 if they got a parliament. So the British opposed the parliament. And so therefore the religious leaders in Iran gave the people of Iran a parliament. But it's perfunctory. It's a figurehead body. It does have like a political apparatus that it works under, like the foreign minister and things like that. And the foreign minister has a lot of power, and the Speaker of the Parliament, because they might personally know like the Supreme Leader. There's a little like overlapping concentric social circles of influence thing. But you kind of got to understand like those three distinct kind of power structures. And then what I would say is the first plan Mr. President Trump had was probably to work with the IRGC army. That plan did not work. The second plan was to work with the Speaker of the Parliament. That plan kind of worked, but to do that, you have to get the permission of the Supreme Leader. And the whole plan, in my opinion, is there's an attempt to kind of like isolate the IRGC hardliners by getting the political body and the Supreme Leader on the same page with the support of the IRGC army, so that the IRGC leadership is kind of like sidelined. Everyone on the same page, that's what I think is what's going on. Soul Controller, yeah, but they may all be together, but I don't think they all support the same policies. That's where you get factionalism. Like, you may have one group that, like, because you know when you have, like, a cabinet or, like, a presidential administration, you will have one group that supports a certain path, another group that supports another path. When I say there's factions, I don't mean that they're, like, going to overthrow each other. I mean that they have, like, differing views on various issues, and thus that opens the door for, like, factionalism. Factionalism is where you get, like, political leverage. You never want factionalism in a country. Factionalism is bad. That's why, like, political parties that break up into factions oftentimes just go away because they have no power. There was a question, though, in there, and I want to get to the speech. It was actually from one of the people I just brought up. This is some comments from, I believe, the Speaker of the Iranian Parliament. Okay, so let's take a listen. This is the man who was the head of the delegation in Islamabad. This was, unlike Professor Morandi, who was a member of the delegation and like an academic expert who would be consulted on specific issues, this man was the head of the Iranian delegation. He's speaking in Farsi. It's translated into English. Let's take a listen. He just spoke on Iranian state TV about an hour and a half ago.
روند مذاکرات با شما جزئیات حالا شاید صلاح نمیدونید بگید شرایط شما نیست. آیا روند مذاکره پیشرفت داشته؟ آیا فکر می‌کنید مذاکره مجددی امکان پذیر باشه، در پیش رو باشه؟ چون خیلی اخبار دارن میگن که یک شنبه، پنجشنبه هی دارن اطلاعات میدن که فلان مذاکره فلان تاریخ هست و غیره.
خب نگاه کنید، بله بعضی موضوعاتش به جنبندی رسیده، بعضی موضوعاتش نه، پیشنهادهای دیگه ای داشته، اما با اون بحث نهایی هنوز فاصله داریم. یعنی یه جاهایی هست که ما بر اون موضوعات اصرار داریم به این معنا که واقعا دیگه اونجا این نیست که ما این خواسته ها قابل گذشت ازش باشه، نیست. یعنی ما نقاط اینطوری داریم، اونا هم بعضی، حالا ممکن البته این موضوعات یکی دوتا باشه، یکی یا دوتا، اونها هم یه جایی هستن، یه نظراتی دارن که به قول معروف یه خط قرمزایی دارن. الان تو این بخشا داره دنبال بشه. ولی اگه من سرجم بخوام بگم که ما پیشرفت داشتیم، اما فاصله هامون هنوز زیاده، بعضی نکات اساسی باقی مونده. این نکته مهمه که بدونیم. و اون نکته که آمریکایی‌ها باید بدونن اینه که آمریکا باید تصمیم بگیره که اعتماد ملت ایران جلب کنه. این مهمترین گامیه که باید آمریکایی‌ها بردارن. اگر اونا واقعا میخوان که با حسن نیت پاسخ بدن، باید اون رویکرد گفتگوی خودشون رو از یک جانبه‌گری و روحیه‌ای که بخوان یه چیزی رو بر ما تحمیل بکنن از این دست بردارن و تجربه کردن که چنین چیزی اتفاق نمیفته. و سیاست ما هم اقدام گام به گامه. ما تعهد در مقابل تعهده. یه گام اونا بود بردارن، یه گام ما بود بردارن. اینطوری نشه که ما تعهد خود رو عمل کنیم، اونا عمل نکنیم. ما سعی کردیم این تجربیات به همون حس بی‌اعتمادی دنبال کنیم.
Let's listen to that again. This is the position of the chief Iranian negotiator. He's trying to tell Mr. President Trump and the American people, although I don't think he was expecting this to get to America so quickly. He's saying, listen, this is our position. So just listen. We'll listen to it one more time. You can read the captions.
روند مذاکرات با شما جزئیات حالا شاید صلاح نمیدونید بگید شرایطش آماده نیست. آیا روند مذاکره پیشرفت داشته؟ آیا فکر می‌کنید مذاکره مجددی
This is from 1 hour ago, by the way.
امکان پذیر باشه در پیش رو باشه؟ چون خیلی اخبار دارن میگن که یک شنبه، پنجشنبه هی دارن اطلاعات میدن که فلان مذاکره فلان تاریخ هست و غیره.
خب نگاه کنید، بله بعضی موضوعاتش به جنبندی رسیده، بعضی موضوعاتش نه، پیشنهادهای دیگه ای داشته، اما با اون بحث نهایی هنوز فاصله داریم. یعنی یه جاهایی هست که ما بر اون موضوعات اصرار داریم به این معنا که واقعا دیگه اونجا این نیست که ما این خواسته ها قابل گذشت ازش باشه، نیست. یعنی ما نقاط اینطوری داریم، اونا هم بعضی، حالا ممکن البته این موضوعات یکی دوتا باشه، یکی یا دوتا، اونها هم یه جایی هستن، یه نظراتی دارن که به قول معروف یه خط قرمزایی دارن. الان تو این بخشا داره دنبال بشه. ولی اگه من سرجم بخوام بگم که ما پیشرفت داشتیم، اما فاصله هامون هنوز زیاده، بعضی نکات اساسی باقی مونده. این نکته مهمه که بدونی. و اون نکته که آمریکایی‌ها باید بدونن اینه که آمریکا باید تصمیم بگیره که اعتماد ملت ایران جلب کنه. این مهمترین گامیه که باید آمریکایی‌ها بردارن. اگر اونا واقعا میخوان که با حسن نیت پاسخ بدن، باید اون رویکرد گفتگوی خودشون رو از یک جانبه‌گری و روحیه‌ای که بخوان یه چیزی رو بر ما تحمیل بکنن از این دست بردارن و تجربه کردن که چنین چیزی اتفاق نمیفته. و سیاست ما هم اقدام گام به گامه. ما تعهد در مقابل تعهده، یه گام اونا بود بردارن، یه گام ما بود بردارن. اینطوری نشه که ما تعهد خود رو عمل کنیم اونا عمل نکنیم. ما سعی کردیم این تجربیات به همون حس بی‌اعتمادی دنبال کنیم.
I mean, that's pretty reasonable. Can't really argue with that. They just want, they want respect. Not just respect, they just want to be treated with some dignity. And they want their people to be respected. And whether you like their style of government or not, they survived the onslaught. So they've earned the respect of a mutual sort of state partner. And they would be so friendly. I truly believe, I'd bet the farm on it. I don't have a farm, but if I bought Nikki a farm, she's Towel Girlfriend, I would totally bet the farm on it that Iran is willing to coexist peacefully. They'd like to see, so my read of this between the lines is that Iran really would like to see some economic prosperity. They would be very, very friendly. They'd be like any other state. They're going to have weapons for defense. If you attack them, they're going to attack back. You can't just attack them. But I don't expect them to belligerently attack anyone who is not attacking other people or them. I don't expect them to be a first action belligerent. I expect them to try to make quality of life better for their people because it's rough. They would, if you gave Iran economic prosperity, the country would be thrilled. They'd be so peaceful. They're only mad because we're starving them and depleting them of their natural resources, which frankly they have a right to. So my point is, that's all he's trying to say. They're not being treated with dignity, and so therefore the negotiations keep going in circles. You can't treat, they're not a small country, they're not a weak country, they're a powerful, intelligent country. They just want dignity. Dignity is such an important thing for humans and countries. Everyone deserves dignity. It doesn't matter. As long as you are a decent human, and as long as your country is generally amiable, you deserve to have your dignity. I hate that we strip people and countries of their dignity. Why would, it's so degrading, and I hate it. It's one of the things about modern society that disgusts me. I hope we're turning a corner there. But people deserve their dignity. If they want to go out and parade around naked in the streets, that's a little different. But like, don't strip them of their dignity. Just try to show compassion, and they generally will be amiable back. Speaking of showing compassion, let me show you a video of some heroic Iranian nurses earlier in the month of March putting their lives on the line as a bombing from the U.S. and Israel hit a hospital to save the babies. God bless these Iranian nurses. They saved the babies. Look, they heard the bombing was coming, and their first and only thought was save the babies. You look at those Iranian nurses. Look at them. The hospital got bombed. They saved the babies. They saved the babies. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. They saved the babies. They're heroes. I would award them some kind of medal myself. They saved the babies. Look at them. Look at those nurses save the babies as we bombed a hospital. Yes, America and Israel bombed a hospital, but those brave nurses saved the babies. I can't believe we bombed a hospital with babies in it. I'm mad. Why would you bomb the little babies? I'm really mad. I didn't know we actually bombed the... I thought she was just saving them to go to an air raid shelter. We bombed the babies. Oh, I'm incredibly upset. All right. Can't be doing this. Not to the babies. I didn't know we bombed the babies. Oh, I'm very mad. Oh, you made me mad. Oh, who did it? I want to know who did it. Who bombed the babies? We can't be having that. Nope. There's a line. Who bombed the damn babies? I want to know. I'm upset. Somebody bombed the babies. I'm very mad. That is not debatable. That is not a question of, did it hit or did it not hit? No, that hospital with the babies in it got bombed, and those nurses saved those babies. They're heroes. We still can't be doing that. We can't be doing that. That's just completely unacceptable. I'm disturbed. I'm not placing blame until I know whether it was Israel or the U.S. But listen, we have to formally apologize if that was America. We bombed the babies. No excuse. No excuse whatsoever. Those babies, they're babies. They were in incubators. They had to be saved by the nurse. Nope, it's completely unacceptable. I want to know who did it. I'm not assigning blame until I know who did it. You can't be bombing babies. Nope, absolutely not. Nope. It's inexcusable. There's no justification. Nope. Those babies could have been bombed. The blood would have been on our hands, or whoever bombed them. I want to know who bombed them right now. I'm going to find out. Oh, I'm mad. Oh, now I'm really mad. I should have watched that video before I reacted to it. You're seeing my live reaction. I'm really mad. You can't be bombing babies. I get mad when anybody does it. Those are babies. You can't bomb the babies. You can't. I'm not okay with that. That's it. I'm playing Lego video. I'm mad. I got a special one for Water Under the Fridge. It's a metal song. Oh, Water Under the Fridge is gonna be thrilled. This is going out. Listen, Water Under the Fridge, my friend, it only got posted 34 minutes ago. They heard you. They heard Water Under the Fridge. You have been rewarded for your patience, your support, your blessings, your compassion. This one is going out. It's a metal song. Okay, it's apparently metal. This one's going out to Water Under the Fridge. This is all you, my friend. Okay, let's see. That's not quite metal. Let's see. It does say metal in the French translation. I'm not guaranteeing it's metal. It just said it was metal. I've heard this one before. Let's see if they... Oh my god! That's so much better than it has any right to be. What is going on right now? I guess you can kind of say that Water Under the Fridge is like, people are gonna think this is my favorite song now. Oh my god. Listen, children are gonna sing that song. I'm deeply concerned. It's better than Numa Numa. Oh no. Oh no, listen, you don't understand. The children, it's like two... Listen. When I said I wanted us to like restart from, like 1997, I didn't know we were gonna redo the Numa Numa song about like bombing Israel. I really didn't expect it. I mean, it's like Base Hunter. It literally has like the shout outs from what do they do? What do they play? Dota. If you know what Base Hunter is I think they're Italian. They're like this Italian sort of pop band. I'd call them more of like a techno pop band, a house band. I don't even know what kind of... Whatever you call a band who spends their life on IRC and playing Dota with a bunch of hot women around them while singing songs about it that are like Numa Numa. And, I was in the room with the bot and I thought the bot was named Anna. It was actually a bot. I fell in love with a bot. That kind of thing. Now, you might be saying to yourself, Grant, this was not a thing. Yes, it was. It's the Numa Numa guy. That's what I'm... No, that was Ozone, actually. Base Hunter was the Dota. Ozone was Dragoness Dinte. It's actually fair to conflate Base Hunter and Ozone. They're two different bands, though. The point is, Ozone by Dragoness Dinte by Ozone, and Base Hunter, like Botan Anna, and what's that other song by Base Hunter that's really good? The point is, that genre was very popular in the early 2000s, and it led to the Numa Numa trend, but it also led to these other really good songs, like about like Dota. You gotta kind of understand what Dota is to understand why a song about Dota is so epic. That's actually good. But when they do that, what you have to understand this song is, in Dota, I don't play Dota. I've heard of this like concept. They play it like competitively in Southeast Asia. It's kind of cool to watch. They like go really fast. Like StarCraft too. They go, I don't really... You click and it like the monster goes like to one... I don't really understand the concept of the game, but the point is to understand this track. It's an homage to these songs. Like, it's very upbeat, very happy, kind of like a disillusioned like state, like a disassociative happy state where you're just like gratuitously happy and talking about, like, normally the content would be like, I'm on IRC and I'm chatting and there's this bot and there's this woman named Anna and I'm chatting with her and I fell in love with her, but she's actually a bot. That's normally what the like style is. That's why I was like losing it. They actually almost broke me, because you're not supposed to... Conventionally, you wouldn't have lyrics about bombing anyone in that kind of music. So the juxtaposition, and the fact that they use the Dota call-out. So in these like StarCraft and Dota games, there's like a voice that calls stuff out from above in the game, and that's where you like hear like that weird like adult voice just kind of yelling. That's a really impressive composition. I give it like a 9.7 out of 10. It's designed to do a certain thing and invoke a certain imagery. This is going to go bad really fast. They're getting really good at this. They're going to infiltrate our culture with this. They're going to infiltrate the youth. It's working to the betterment, I think, of world peace, but it corners. There has to be an end. We can't go back into war with a country that has control over the narrative and has missiles that can hurt people seriously. And they will punish the Israeli civilians for the bombings in Iran. So I don't really know what to tell anyone about this situation. Let's take now a look at another one of the Iranian political leaders who was just on Iranian state TV about 2 hours ago. It's not the same man, the PM who headed the delegation. It's actually a different member of Iran's delegation. Let me see if I can find it. I might have lost it in my feed. If I can't, so be it. It might be this post. Yes, here we go. So this was the latest from the aerospace of the IRCG. They're clearly assuming there's going to be a surprise attack. Let's take a listen. Hi, Joyce. Good to see you. Blue, what? D. Meyer. Sorry if I missed your... Oh, sorry, D. Meyer. What was the blue question in reference to? I'm happy to answer it. I just missed it at the time. This is the latest from the commander of the Aerospace Force of the IRCG. They expect a surprise attack within the next day or two.
Translated from Arabic. URGENT. Commander of the Aerospace Force in the Revolutionary Guard, Mr. Majid Mousavi. The war is ongoing, and the enemy will not miss any opportunity to strike our country. On the battlefield, it is not only upon the armed forces, but also upon you, brave men of this land, to defend your homeland, one barricade after another, by standing firm in the field. Your vigilance and unity are what will make the enemy kneel.
So they expect a surprise attack. I'm a little bit on edge. I don't expect it tonight, but I don't expect us to see negotiations for a number of reasons. Mr. President is expecting to know by the end of the day. He told reporters that by the end of the day he's expecting to know what Iran's position is, but I must say it's not going in a positive direction. If you want to see, there is one I want to show you. I played it during the intro, but there is one kind of sums up Iran's position on this strait. And I guess we can play that one. There's also a new one about the Pope I want to play. Like, they're winning the propaganda war by a lot. Speaking of the Pope, Angola now, where the Pope was on another stop. He left Cameroon, actually, and went to Angola for another stop on his multi-country tour. Give me 1 second. Hi, OF. No, I don't think it's fair to call the blockades piracy, per se. I think that, in general, like, sea piracy is more the act of actually boarding the vessels, but that has been threatened. But I take your point. Welcome to the channel. The negotiations have collapsed. I am almost certain. Someone asked my position earlier. I think they have collapsed. That was the Pope in Angola earlier today. Fascinating to actually see so many people. I think the Pope saw probably 20 million people during his trip. He saw a lot of people. I was actually surprised at the amount of people who came out to see the Pope. I mean, I know the Pope is popular, obviously, but the Pope has reached a new level of popularity. It's very impressive. Let me get us ready to do some more updates. I have a Lego video I'd like to show you about the Strait. Iran's position is pretty clear. It's not about the Strait. They are trolling the hell out of the president, though, about the Strait. And he really did open himself up to it by, like, focusing so much on the Strait. So I'm gonna play you the Strait of Iran song, which, by the way, the president opened himself up to this by calling it the Strait of Iran. So here's the latest Iran song. They really, like, this is how they communicate their positions.
Strait of Trump. Strait of Iran. Say it with me.
Definitely Pope Leo won, like, Pope Leo is the most they did the poll today. Pope Leo is the most popular politician in the United States. His favorability rating is plus 34. It's wild.
Now, Strait of
and he's not even a politician.
Iran. Say it with me. Yeah. You said no deal, unconditional, then you signed one. Traditional, bombed our schools, killed our kids. Now you're paying 20 billion in bids. Wasted your missiles, wasted your breath. Every tanker goes through us from here till death. You called it the Strait of Iran yourself. Posted it proud like a trophy on the shelf. Obama had the paper, Obama had the locks. You got a handshake in a cardboard box. We ain't reach at our peace, you pray we don't. You said voluntary disclosure, we won't. Ain't cool to laugh. Even your right said quit. You lost the war and you're still spinning it. Art of the deal, art of the L. You surrendered, you already fell. Bad moves, straight to Trump. Normal moves, straight to Hormuz. Good moves, straight of Iran. You surrendered. You surrendered. Straight of Iran. You surrendered. The biggest deal. Tanker by tanker, IRGC waves it through. You asked permission from the boys in blue. We picked the lane, we picked the price. Pay the toll or pay it twice. No military ships, no hostile flags. We decide who's hostile, check your bags. NATO hung up, NATO said bye. Paper tiger, nice try. Saudi Arabia watching, shaking their head. The man who was gonna lead is in bed. You spent 100 missiles on the dune. Iran got Hormuz back by June. Schoolgirls dead and the Strait still lost. 30 days of bombing, couldn't hold it for hours. You called the Strait of Iran with your own tiny hands. Case closed, welcome to our lands. Bad moves, straight to Trump. Normal moves, straight to Hormuz. Good moves, straight of Iran. You surrendered. You surrendered. Straight of Iran. You surrendered. The biggest deal. Salam, you dropped it. Pick it up, you lost. Every ship is ours. Every dollar is the cost. The clock is on our side. Biggest deal, yeah, biggest loss. You gave up the Strait, you paid the boss. Obama did it clean, you did it loud. We did it better, now bow to the crowd. 20 BBB cash on the way for a trust me broke. And the voluntary display, you used to say Iran is a terrorist state. Now you asked Iran for a transaction day. Cease, fire all word. Enrichment, our pace. Straits, our name. Strait of our place. You lost the war and paid to lose again. Every tanker is a reminder, amen. From the White House to the Hormuz Sea, Iran kept it history. Straight of Trump, normal move, straight of Hormuz, good move, straight of Iran. You surrendered. You surrendered. Straight of Iran. You surrendered. The biggest deal. Straight of Iran.
Well,
Tell your grandkids.
I think we know the Iranian position. So a lot of people don't understand why Iran speaks this way. It's because I think they believe they will be actually taken more seriously if they encode their position to the American people and the world through this. I don't think they make it. I think they have heavy influence. There's a lot of like synced imagery and messaging across the positions of the Iranian embassies on social media coupled with the positions of like the government officials, coupled with the talking points that the like delegation members use on both Arabic, Persian, and English language stations. I watch almost all these interviews, so I'm very like I pick up on the Iranian talking points because I'm trying to study what each side is saying versus what they're doing. And that's kind of where the analysis part, that's why I'm right about a lot. I have gut feelings a lot, but they come from just a lot of analysis of interviews. So I look for like common themes, talking points. I'm doing like pattern analysis, which is really why I look at these. I like the beats, but I'm looking for like analytical data points for a larger narrative breakdown of the positions of the various sides in the conflict or war. My position, my view is the Iranian position is mostly expressed like through mimetic warfare. I wouldn't call it mimetic warfare because it's more just like you don't go to war through memes. They have to be legitimately like good. And that like Lego's the only smart company in the world, because every other company that this happens to, like Pepe the Frog or Franklin, they inevitably Streisand it by like getting mad. Lego's playing this perfectly. You just say nothing, it'll blow over, but if you get mad during it, people will spite you and do it more. So say nothing. They're playing it perfectly. Everyone loves Lego. Lego is actually kind of like adored by all sides of this conflict, so they know to just be quiet. And they're doing a good job. Lego's the first company I've ever seen play it right. You just say nothing. And that's just like your brand increases, you get like more attention, people think you're cool, like you're chill, and everything just goes away. The brands that screw it up are the ones that like try to react against it. Like you just say nothing. Alright, so let's see, there might be another Pete Hegsick. What's this one? Hold on. Oh, is this a Pete Hegsick one? Oh, there's a Pete Hegsick one. Alright, fine, we're playing it. Listen, I can't do anything about the fact that the Iranians communicate via Lego videos. It's my job as a journalist to analyze them. I'm sorry, I must play you another one. This is about Pete Hegsick, alright? We need to figure out the Iranian position on Pete Hegsick. The only way to do it is to watch Lego videos. It's like a canon of journalistic ethics that I must analyze these. Oh, water under the fridge. This is sounding a little more rock.
The sky's dark, the wind is whispering, every step's never return. The shadow came without a sound, test the heart, test the soul. We stand without hesitation, even though the world is starting to freeze. It's not the swords we carry, but faith in the soul. We won't run away. Face us, we are here, waiting for you. Our greatest and demon army. We do not submit, we do not collapse, even though the storm keeps hitting me. We are here, standing still, will not be shaken by illusions. You can come with anything, but we won't. to hold on. Come! Face it! We are here! Won't go away! Waiting for you, no matter how strong you are. We still won't fall. Faith is my protection.
Oh, I see what people are doing. This is actually, to do some analysis, this is taking it, this is kind of what I thought was going to happen. So what people are doing is they're making their own compositions. This is actually not unoriginal. It is original art because someone has made a song, however they composed it. It was probably with help from like a program. But then where the human element comes in is they cut by hand all those different imageries from different Lego videos. They made their own project, and then they put their composition onto the storyboard. It's like, it's how memes evolve. That's why I look at these. This is not from the original creators. You're going to watch this become a thing. It's why the war has to end. This is going to take over. You don't understand. This will become mimetic culture throughout the schools. The kids will be listening to this, like in America. It's going to become like a whole thing. So, also, we already watched the one you sent in, Claude, about the not starting the fire. But I have another one here. I think we can watch. This is about the Pope and Mr. President. This one just came out. All right, this is apparently about the Pope and Mr. President. I've been wanting to watch this one, so give me 1 second. I'll find it for you. Yeah, it's this one. So I didn't actually get to see this one, but this is the Pope and Mr. President, so I have to watch these for journalistic purposes. Oh, goodness. Alright, where are you going to take this one?
Every time I look at you, I don't understand.
I'll look at it, Soul Controller.
Down and make them feel so grand. You flood the world with AI pics of yourself on the cross, stealing the holy spotlight, turning faith into your boss. Antichrist, superstar. Do you think you're who they say you are? Antichrist, superstar. Versus Trump, this is the final.
This is ridiculous, but hilarious.
Chosen one, look at the crowds I get, bigger than Jesus ever was, don't you forget. Red hats in the millions, screaming my holy name. I'm bringing back the glory, I'm rewriting the game. Faux prophet, charlatan in a suit, I'm the light, I'm the absolute.
Alright, here's my opinion. We got 1 day to do this, because the only time we're going to be able to do this is when there's nothing else going on. But I am indulging because I think to give you some, updates on the actual war. Let me just show you some pictures here that just came in, if they would be so kind as to load. It shows America, during the ceasefire period, reposition the deployment sites of THAAD and Patriot systems in Jordan and move them to a new formation, a measure taken to avoid the targeting after previous locations were exposed. So, also the song Abomination I am able to play. And yes, there's an Erica Kirk song. Listen, I don't know what to say anymore about all this. You get like one night of this. We can only do this when there are bombs not falling. So I'm going to just let you request Lego videos, and then I'll play the Obama Nation song. Listen, I don't know what, I'm not exactly sure what Miss Erica Kirk did to draw the ire of the Iranians, but they're mad. They don't care. It's just like, you do something, the Iranians or one of their people or someone who likes them is going to make a video. I'm not really sure what Erica Kirk has to do with the ceasefire negotiations. You know, I don't really understand, so I kind of have to analyze this. I don't know what she did to upset the Iranians. I know she upset Candace Owens, or Candace Owens is upset. I don't really understand that whole thing. It somehow involves the president of France and his wife. I don't know if that's the same feud. All I know is Candace Owens is mad at Erica Kirk and the president of France and his wife. I don't know if the president of France situation is related to the Erica Kirk situation. I don't know if Erica Kirk knows the president of France. Maybe she does. Maybe she doesn't. The point is, I don't really know what Erica Kirk has to do with Iran. I really don't. How she got caught up in this whole thing, it's a mystery. Oh, goodness. Like, she has beef with the Iranians. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Whatever the beef is, for my analytical purposes, we're going to find out. So, I don't know what Miss Erica Kirk did to upset the Iranians, but they're mad. So, let's listen.
Hey, y'all.
Oh, no.
This one's for the timeline.
Oh, no.
Erica was tired of the perfect wife show. Charlie out there preaching, but we all kind of know. Secret nights with Benny, keeping it on the low. Mama spilled the tea, said the family man thing was just for show. Then that Utah night, under those bright lights, one rooftop shot into Charlie's big fight. Goodbye, Charlie. Goodbye, Charlie. Ain't no widow tears, she's smiling oh so hearty. Goodbye, Charlie. Goodbye, Charlie. Now she's running TP USA, hugging on JD. Took over the org faster than you could blink. Changed the wheel, moved the cash, didn't miss a thing. Wrapped her arms round Van's fingers through his hair. Whispered, you remind me of Charlie, honey, we all stare. She's crazy, she's wild, she's living her best life, while the internet's screaming Black Widow, that's right. Police said lone gunman, case closed real quick, but the conspiracies are thick and the rumors are slick. She's blowing on stage with the next big thing. Erica's crazy era, let the whole world sing. Goodbye, Charlie. Goodbye, Charlie. She's the new queen now, living wild and free. Goodbye, Charlie. Woo! Goodbye, Charlie. Erica's crazy era, sing it loud with me. Yeah, goodbye, Charlie.
That's the point. It's sardonic. So, here's Soul Controller. I'll show, define sardonic. It's a very weird, like, word. It means, like, grimly mocking or cynical. Yeah, like, it's meant to, like, it's tongue-in-cheek. They're saying she, like, they're being very, like, I get it. Someone explained why Iran and the supporters of Iran are doing this. There's a theory, apparently, about who was responsible for Charlie's death. I don't know. I'm not going to wade into all that. I don't have enough information. And frankly, if it involves national security, I'm not sure I want to know. I like Charlie. I think I've said before that I didn't agree with all of Charlie's politics. I don't think he would have agreed with all of my politics. We're just, I don't know, we're just different. But the point is, so, you know, when I go to bed, I like to scroll through shorts or listen to audiobooks. It depends what day it is. But before Charlie died, I remember listening to him, and I've told this story before. Like, I remember listening to him talk about Jesus. And at first I was like, a lot of people talk about Jesus. Like, I got very jaded because a lot of people on social media, when they talk about Jesus, either, like, they're like a reverend of some weird church, like in the middle of the country, who has like 72 jets and like a big, like the evangelical like mega church. Or they're like a guy with like singing guitar, which I really like, and like doing like a Sunday prayer service. Like it's normally like there's two extremes, like really small like Christian communities. Like I'm talking specifically about people who talk about Jesus. Well, I guess Jesus is in the Holy Quran alongside the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. But I'm talking more in America, like Christian communities. There's either like small insular like Bible studies and like people who play guitar and are very talented and sing about Jesus, or there's like really big popular people, but they're like scammers kind of. I don't know how to explain it. I just don't like them. They like take Jesus's name and then they like do weird things and build these big churches and they have jets, and I don't like anything about it. So I don't like that. And Charlie, at first, I was like, oh, it's just another guy with a big platform trying to like do something by invoking Jesus. And then I got to listen to him, and you can't fake it. I don't know how to explain it. You've either read the Bible on an authentic level or you haven't, or you've either read the holy text on an authentic level or you haven't. You can't study it like a briefing on it. I don't know. It's just you either like have a favorite. There's just a way to tell when someone is authentic about like their love of Jesus. I don't know how to explain it. And so anyway, Charlie was talking one time on a short, and he quoted, like, I could tell he wasn't reading notes. He was like 3 hours into a stream, and he was just quoting from the Bible. I don't really do that. I know what I like, and I know the verses, but I can't quote chapter and verse. I can kind of do my favorite verse. But Charlie was just quoting from the Bible, just like off the cuff, and he was citing chapter and verse. And then he was using it to like bootstrap in the point and like make a corollary to a modern political discussion. And I was like, you know what? If this, first of all, I had to gauge whether he was being authentic. And then I did. And then I was like, you know what? After watching him a little bit, like this man is just unapologetic in his love of Jesus. And like it's not corny. So, and people listen to him, and it's okay to talk about if you like your love of Jesus. And I really took that message. That's why I was so sad when Charlie was killed, because I really like felt less abashed about my love of Jesus because of Charlie. He was just kind of like talking about it, and people were okay with it. So I was like, well, I can talk about it too. So anyway, my point with that is, I don't want to weigh in to whatever the hell went down there. I think it was intel. I want justice for Charlie, but I don't know with the current situation in the intelligence community if we're going to get those answers right away. I want to know. I think the American people deserve to know. And I think the people who loved and cared about Charlie and didn't look at him as a vehicle for their own success have a right to know. But that's all I want to say about that. Anything further, and I would just get mad. So I'm not going to do that. But I get why that she is like in there. She's a little bit targeted by them. Like for, it's called sardonic like commentary. They're like mocking her. And you know, there would have been a time when I would have been like, no, don't do that. But at this point, I'm like, well, you know, I don't like a lot of things about American politics right now. So that's all I'm going to say about that. So these are the images of the rearranged American THAAD launcher positions during the ceasefire. Apparently the positioning changed to like accommodate some kind of defensive maneuvering. I don't think, though, anyone's surprised that public satellite imagery is confirming that. Satellite imagery is lagged in war zones, by the way, by months. So, all right, let me see what else I got for you. I think there was another video from the Iranian, the Iranian Speaker of the Parliament, who was the leader of the delegation that spoke with the U.S. Here he is talking about his meeting with Vice President Vance. So let's take a listen with English
من در
captions.
جواب بهش گفتم شما حتما توییت منو خوندی. من یه توییت زدم. گفت آره. گفتم من در توییت نوشتم که ما هم با حسن نیت داریم میام اینجا ولی در اوج بی‌اعتمادی. همین الانم که اینجا نشستم جلو شما در حقیقت هیچ اعتمادی ندارم. شما اولین کاری که باید انجام بدی اعتماد سازی بکنی. گفتم ترامپ توییت زده که مذاکره کنندهایی که آمدن اینجا خلاصه اصلا ای که زنده موندن مالیه که مذاکره کنن، اگه تا 24 ساعت تصمیم نگیرن معلوم نیست بعد زنده باشن. گفتم این رفتار شما آمریکایی هست، لذا شما میدونید ما تا آخر ایستادیم. من در جواب بهش گفتم شما حتما توییت منو خوندی. من یه توییت زدم. گفت آره. گفتم من در توییت نوشتم که ما هم با حسن نیت داریم میام اینجا ولی در اوج بی‌اعتمادی. همین الانم که اینجا نشستم جلو شما در حقیقت هیچ اعتمادی ندارم. شما اولین کاری که باید انجام بدی اعتماد سازی بکنی. گفتم ترامپ توییت زده که مذاکره کنندهایی که آمدن اینجا خلاصه اصلا ای که زنده موندن مالیه که مذاکره کنن، اگه تا 24 ساعت تصمیم نگیرن معلوم نیست بعد زنده باشن. گفتم این رفتار شما آمریکایی هست، لذا شما میدونید ما تا آخر ایستادیم. من در جواب بهش گفتم شما حتما توییت منو خوندی.
So you can see his position very clearly. Taking you to Israel now, where police in Jerusalem have had to intervene. The anti-Bibi protests have spread so far in Israel they got to the holy city and police were forced to intervene. This is Israel tonight. The police in Jerusalem had to break up a anti-Netanyahu protest. You're looking at scenes from on the ground in Jerusalem tonight, where the police of Israel had to break up an anti-Netanyahu demonstration. All right, I'll take you now to another comment from the Speaker of the Iranian Parliament regarding a very tense moment during negotiations. It was hard to get these English captions. I could have translated them all, but it was easier to collect these clips for you. So here's another segment of the interview with the head of the Iranian negotiation delegation with English captions. He's about to tell you that he nearly attacked American ships during the negotiations. Let's listen.
مردم عزیز ما، تنگه در کنترل جمهوری اسلامی است. خاطرتون هست که مینروب بخواد بفرسته مینروبی کنه، خب ما اینا رو محکم ایستادیم، برخورد کردیم، اینا رو لغو آتش بس میدونستیم و گفتن اگه اقدام بکنید میزنیم. تا مرحله درگیری هم رفتیم، اونا عقب نشینی کردن. اونجا که بودم برادر اون آقا عبداللهی با من تماس داشت، میگفت مینروب اینا اومده در جای قرار گرفته که اگر اینجا نایسته حتما موشک ما بهش اصابت میکنه. من اونجا به هیئت آمریکایی گفتم تو این مرزیم، اگر از این جلوتر بیاد قطعا میزنیم. 15 دقیقه فقط از ما وقت خواستن. گفتم آقا 15 دقیقه وقت بدیم، ما دستور میدیم که برگردن و دستور دادم برگشت. بعد برگشتش هم عبداللهی با اون تماس داشت که آره 15 دقیقه است الان برگشت. یعنی نگاه کنید، لذا اگر امروز در تنگه هم ترددی داره انجام میشه و پیش میره، ما کنترل تنگه دست ماست. الان اینا 2 روز 3 روز آمدن محاصره کردن. محاصره یعنی چی؟ یعنی همه بیان برن ایران نره. عجب تصمیم ناشیانه و نادانی. خب اگر اینجا تنگه هست، ما هستیم و همه اونهایی که از اینجا میخوان برن همه برن، ما نریم، مگه یه امکان پذیره؟ این هم اشتباه رو اشتباه. طبیعتا من گفتم که اگر محاصره رو رها نکنند حتما تردد در تنگه محدود خواهد شد، محدودیت روش خواهد اومد.
Well, so maybe it's more about the Strait than I thought. Well, the Iranian position is very clear. I don't think anyone can deny that. Now let's take a listen to a report on those Lego videos. You all like the videos so much, I thought I would show you a little local report from the U.S. Let's see what the U.S. media, this is from the Tennessee Holler, I think, showing a clip, just a small clip from MSNBC, or whatever they call themselves now. Let's take a listen. Where's the volume? Why is there no volume? I don't understand. There's just no volume. Oh, sorry, the volume was down. Give me 1 second. I was like, why would you put a clip up with no volume? I thought maybe he put captions on it. Let's take a listen. Let's hear just a small segment of what one of these analysts has to say about the Lego videos you all love so much.
Win the propaganda war with these very clever, very compelling videos that go right to the heart of some of the weaknesses of the arguments being made by the Trump administration. They make fun of Donald Trump for the Jesus post, for some of the wild things that he said. They use British rap lyrics. It's in English. They're very clever. By one count, they've racked up more than 1 billion views on X alone. And look, a lot of the extreme things that Donald Trump has said, probably more hurtful to America's image than anything in these videos. But this has become a cultural phenomenon. There was a new one today, just making fun of Pete Hegseth and alleging that he has a drinking problem. It's just really remarkable, and the U.S. has no answer because, in part, the State Department disbanded some of the organizations that were designed to flag and counter foreign propaganda.
Okay, now let's take a drive through South Lebanon. While we take this, oh no, I don't want to listen to that. While we do that. While we take a drive through South Lebanon, I'm going to play a song request that came in from the one and only Soul Controller.
Very clever, very compelling.
No, stop videos. It. This is from the one and only Soul Controller, and I have a special surprise during the second half of the video. This is called Obama Nation.
This track is not an attack upon the American people. It's an attack upon the system within which they live. Since 1945, the United States has attempted to overthrow more than 50 foreign governments. In the process, the US has caused the end of life for several million people and condemned many millions more to a life of agony and despair. The strength of your dreaming prevents you from reason. The American dream only makes sense if you're sleeping. It's just a cruel fantasy. Their politics took my voice away, but their music gave it back to me. The land where the lumpen are consumed by consumption, killing themselves to shovel down food in abundance. I guess a rapper from Britain is a rare voice. America is capitalism on steroids. Natives kept in casinos and reservations. Displaced slaves never given reparations. Take everything from Native Americans and wonder why I call it the racist experiment. Afraid of your melanin, the same as it's ever been. That ain't gonna change with the race of the president. I see imperialism under your skin tone. You could call it Christopher Columbus syndrome.
Say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight as we beneath outside
the world's entertainer, the world's devastator. From Venezuela to Mesopotamia. Your cameras lie cause they have to hide the savage crimes committed on leaders that happen to try and nationalize eating competitions while the world's been starving. Beat up communism.
This is low key.
Where would your war of terror be without that man? Every day you create more Nidal Hassans. Kill a man from the military, you're a weirdo. But kill a wog from the Middle East, you're a hero. Your country is causing screams that never reach your ear holes. America inflicted 1 million ground zeros. Follow the dollar and swallow your humanity. Soldiers committing savagery you never even have to see. Those mad at me, writing emails angrily. I'm not anti-America, America is anti-me.
Doesn't make any difference when they bomb your nation. Is it Obama's nation or an abomination? Is it Obama's nation or an abomination? Is it Obama's nation or an abomination? Doesn't make any difference when they bomb your nation.
I don't care if him and Cheney are long lost relations. What matters more is the policies. I lost my patience. Stop debating, bringing race into the conversation. Occupation and cooperation equals profit making. It's over, people wake up from the dream now. Nobel Peace Prize, Jay-Z on speed dial. It's the substance within, not the colour of your skin. Are you the puppeteer or the puppet on the string? So many believed it was instantly gonna change. There was still Dennis Ross, Brzezinski and Robert Gates. What happened to Chaz Freeman? What happened to Tristan Anderson? It's a machine that keeps that man breathing. I have the heart to say what all these other rappers aren't. Words like Iraq, Palestine, Afghanistan. The war's on and you morons were all wrong. I call Obama Obama cause those are your bombs. Your bomb, your bomb, your bomb, your bomb, your bomb, your bomb.
Dancing off beat to the rhythm. You really think this country never sponsored terrorism? Human rights violations, we continue the saga. El Salvador and the Contras in Nicaragua. And on top of that, you still want to take me to prison just because I won't trade humanity for patriotism. But that'll never be me, because I'm leaving the past. Like an abused wife with the kids, leaving your ass. And if you get in my way, I wouldn't want to be ya. You know what I'm saying? Now that is how you do it. Alright? I'll do a free show in North Korea, but I won't burn the flag. Although I do think a lot of the J. Edgar Hoover politicians dress up in drag. They're mostly trying to confuse you, you know, 'cause they will. Trying to sell their soul to the eye on the back of the dollar bill. It's really sad. Sometimes you just gotta throw it in there. I know. You just gotta remix the line sometimes. It has to come to me naturally though. I can't just do it. I have to feel it. And then sometimes I can speak in those lines, but I have to feel it. And I have to have listened to the songs within the past few hours. So. Oh, Nanya, I don't think I've met Vermin. I might have run into him once or twice, but he hangs around. He's cool, Nanya. You can probably meet him. You just gotta hang out with Robbie or whatever it is, at a protest. If you just, go to a protest in Boston, most likely, Vermin and Robbie will be, maybe not Robbie these days, but, Vermin will be in the middle of the crowd. And he uses, diffusion tactics to get the, police and the protesters to be nice. You know, he's kind of cool. He's a civic action embodied, but he's also a good mirror for America. If we just didn't dress normally, if we were just embracing our inner child. You know, I was actually thinking about Nietzsche's concept of the Ubermensch the other day. I was talking to Towel Girlfriend about it. So, you know, I really wanted to understand what Nietzsche was talking about with the Ubermensch. And let me just talk about why I think Vermin Supreme is such a good example of this. So what Nietzsche was really talking about in Thus Spoke Zarathustra with the Ubermensch was this concept of soul. And Nietzsche thinks that there are, humans have the potential to go through 3 stages of development of their soul. Nietzsche thinks very few people get to the 3rd stage. The first stage, I'm going to summarize this generally because I don't speak Nietzsche that well. He's kind of an obtuse German waffler who really likes opera. So anyway, and I don't know what drugs he was on, bro. I have no, absinthe or something, but he was unique. But anyway, so Nietzsche had a really good idea he had a lot of good ideas, but one of his good ideas was this notion of the development of soul, this tripartite development. And Nietzsche says a lot of people, almost everyone goes through the first stage, which is where you're just you march lockstep with a cultural thesis. You go, in America, an example would be you live for Friday, you work everybody's working for the weekend. You work for the weekend, you party on Friday nights, you wake up and get hangover breakfast Saturday, maybe go bowling, or to a movie, or to a Red Sox game, or whatever the hell you do on Saturday. And then depending on what time of the season it is, you're either going to a football game, watching football Sunday, recovering, going to bed around 7, waking up, doing it all again. It's It's like you're kind of like ascribing to the ideals foisted on you by pre-existing like descriptive societal norms, and you get a lot of pleasure out of like living up to the standards that you're expected to meet. And that's like what the first stage of soul is. The second stage of soul is also common, and Nietzsche would generally probably describe it as rebellious, but it's this idea where like you get a lot of energy from just burning the system down around you. Like you've learned a lot, and then you've gotten past this like complacent, like sort of lockstep with the system, and then instead of like coming to understand it and working within it, you just burn it down. Or rebellion's a good word for it. And Nietzsche says that's less common than the first stage. Like some people get to the second stage, but it's rare. The third stage, and this is why I find the concept of Übermensch so radical now that I actually understand it, having refreshed my recollection. The concept of the Übermensch is the third stage of the development of soul, and the reason it frames itself in the Nietzschean canon as Übermensch is that it's very hard to get to, and Nietzsche doesn't think anyone really gets there. Nietzsche calls the third stage of development of the soul like a childlike state where you're like over the alienation of rebellion, and you're over the like complicit like subrogation of your will and autonomy to the system, and you just kind of like make things. I don't know, you have this like childlike innocence, and you're just very happy, and you just make things, and you like advance society. And that's what Nietzsche said is the third stage of development of soul, and that's the Übermensch. Now that's a fascinating insight. So anyway, let's take a look now at our comments from, we're getting close to how long I wanted to go. I wanted to go 2 hours. I went like 3. That's okay. I had a great time talking with you all. Let's take a look now at a little bit more discussion from the Iranian talks. All right. This is a little bit more from the head of the Iranian delegation regarding his perspective earlier today, just 2 hours ago. He talked a little bit about the negotiations with America. Here's his perspective on some of the attacks on Iran and the impact those attacks had on civilian populations.
این نکته رو بگم، اگر ما با آمریکا در حال مذاکره بودیم، من در توضیحاتم یه همه التیماتوم مال چی بود؟ چرا میگفت 2 روز؟ چرا میگفت 5 روز دیگه؟ چرا میگفت زیر ساختار رو فردا میزنم؟ من همینجا واقعا از این بصیرت، از این شجاعت، از این غیرت، از ملت ایران به ویژه من اینجا روشن بگم، ما مردا بهمون بر نخوره. خانومای این ملت، بانوان ایرانی با غیرت‌تر از مردا تو میدون بودن. من شرمنده اینا شدم اون روزی که گفتن که ما میخوایم پلهای اساسی رو بزنیم، نیروگاه ها رو بزنیم، مراکز داشتن. من اون صحنه‌ای که دیدم که یه خانواده، یه خانم جوان دست بچه‌هاشو گرفته، همه اومدن رو پلها ایستادن، همه رفتن زنجیره انسانی درست کردن. این ملت این گونه، من نمیدونم این هیئت حاکمه نادان آمریکا چطور میگن اینجا ونزوئلاست، چطور میگن، چرا یه درک نمیکنن؟ من
Well, certainly an important perspective to hear. All right, I'll give you one more Lego video. I went an hour over because you all are very fun to spend time with, I must say. And this might be the last day we get with each other. We might get 1 or 2 more where we actually get to decompress. You know, I thought more about it. This series of coverage, it has gone, even on the day where we won't revisit the day where I like talked to a division head at YouTube. That was pretty epic though. This series has gone uninterrupted for like 50 days. I was thinking I kind of got to breathe for the first time. I think a lot of people either involved in covering the war or keeping up with the day-to-day developments, or God forbid, under the bombs or whatnot. I think a lot of people didn't get to breathe for like 40-something days, 40 days, 40 nights, however long it was exactly. And I didn't get to actually digest what it was like. So when I'm still covering this war, but when we were, and I pray we don't go back there, but in the like intense moments of the bombings, like I might have had a few minutes to look down, and I was watching the chat obviously and chatting with you. But it felt some days just like I would look down, we would start the stream, I would look up, and it would be 10 hours later. And I remember like engaging during those streams. I remember being like keeping an eye on the chat, dealing with a little subversion here and there, like mostly just kind of like doing what I wanted to do, which was show you primary sources and analyze it. I'm not sure in context anyone has ever done that. There is such thing as 24-hour-a-day coverage. I don't think any single human has ever just covered a war by themselves for 12 hours a day, every day for 40 days. And then I was like, wait a minute. Oh yeah, that happened. So I'm still kind of struggling to process what has happened. I've had time to report it. I intellectually understand what is going on. But even I think there was so much adrenaline running through my body, and there is undoubtedly going to be more, that I don't know if I stopped to breathe for 40 days. Maybe at one point, like I took a breath, I don't remember. So I can only imagine how intense it was to live under those bombs. And I think what's not bringing me down, but what's just really agonizing about this is the people involved in the decision making about this war know that the price to pay in terms of agony and stress and just civilian death is so high, and the only issues on the table are Lebanon, which can be solved by Bibi just not being a jerk, frankly, and just withdrawing his forces from the 4 kilometers north of the blue line, which is like 22 villages, and he needs to stop pretending that he has control of 55 villages 10 kilometers north of the blue line. He doesn't. He's just lying. He has control of maybe 22, if he's lucky, and I think that's over-exaggeration, and that's like 4 kilometers north of the blue line. Maybe. So, I don't know what to say. The only other issue is the strait. Everything else can basically be worked out because it's all just saving face. It's like the episode of The West Wing where President Bartlett is playing chess with Sam Seaborn. And President Bartlett's actually playing 7 games of chess at once. And one of the games of chess is with Sam Seaborn. And Sam is a very good staffer. I forget what he was. Probably he was a lawyer, but I think he was a policy director, maybe a speechwriter. He worked with Toby. But I think he was in the speech writing shop. Anyway, Sam Seaborn was a smart character in that movie, in that show. And Sam's asking Mr. President, they're kind of using the chess game as an analogy to a real world diplomatic crisis. Like when you're the president, you're basically just playing a bunch of chess games at the same time. You got to memorize it all. And so it's a great parallel structure. I think that was one of the first few seasons. It had to be because Seaborn was still on the show. That was written by Aaron Sorkin. Aaron Sorkin wrote like the first 3 seasons, and then I think he was around for the 4th. I don't remember, and then he left, and then it went downhill. It struggled. It limped along by the end, but Martin Sheen kept it good. But anyway, that was one of Aaron Sorkin's episodes. You can tell an Aaron Sorkin West Wing episode because it's just the greatest exposition of historical erudition you will ever see in your entire life. And Sorkin's like having Bartlett play 7 different chess games, and that's not the story though. That's just to pace the episode. Bartlett's walking around the White House and the West Wing and the basement playing chess with different people. One of the storylines, there's like 4, is about a situation with China in Taiwan and the Taiwanese Strait. And the issue is whether America should sell Aegis destroyers to Taiwan. And China is like threatening America because they're going to do this. And so China is threatening to put troops and ships in the Taiwanese Strait. So the president of the U.S. has publicly announced he's going to send troops to the Taiwanese Strait. The way the situation is solved is the president agrees and says in public that he will not sell the Aegis destroyers to Taiwan. And then he turns around the ships. The president was never going to sell the Aegis destroyers to Taiwan. Looking at the real numbers, if Taiwan bought 2 of those, they would not have any money for the rest of to pay their soldiers. It would eat up, to use Sam Seaborn's words, it would eat up half of their defense budget. But no one really thought about this. Everyone just assumed the president was going to sell Taiwan the Aegis destroyers. So when the president took those off the table and didn't sell them to Taiwan, he didn't really lose anything. He was never going to do it to begin with, but everyone saved a little face and went home happy in the morning. If we want out of this, everyone's got to save a little face and go home happy in the morning. Okay? All right? We were never going to blockade permanently the Strait of Hormuz. Okay? So it's okay to not do that. It's okay to just open it and stop blockading it. It's silly. It makes no sense. Then that leaves just one issue, and Iran and the U.S. do not need to save face over the government of Benjamin Netanyahu falling. The Israeli people are already going to do that. The only issue is Lebanon, which means Pakistan and Iran and the U.S. and the rest of the international community standing with one voice and saying, Bibi, you cannot bomb Lebanon and you must withdraw your troops south of the blue line. Hezbollah has no intention of attacking anyone as long as those troops go south of the blue line and they don't have freedom of movement. I read Hezbollah's terms. You want to hear the speech by Nassim Qassem, actually? He delivered a speech earlier tonight, the leader of Hezbollah. I have it for you in the Arabic, but instead of doing that, I'm just going to have British reporter Tal read the translation for you. So let me get you the speech from the leader of Hezbollah. And I think that's a good way to close. Maybe 1 or 2 more videos, but then I got to go to bed. I want to spend time with Tal, girlfriend, tomorrow. And she's like many hours ahead, so I got to go to bed early so I can wake up. I don't like sleeping through the whole day, like her whole day, because then I'm sad. I like to talk to her. She makes my heart sing. She's beautiful. Wait till you meet her. She's wonderful. We're going to do travel vlogs, and I'm going to show you're going to get to meet her. She's just the greatest. She just makes my heart sing every moment of every day, and I just enjoy it. It's great. All right, I would like to show you the statement from Nassim Qassem. Give me 1 second. It's translated here. I'm going to find it. It's a relatively long speech, so I have to find you the text of it. And then we'll be ready to go. Nope, that's not it. That's not it. Where is it? I remember reposting it. I guess he didn't speak until like a certain time anyway. When did he speak? Where is it here? Did it get buried in Lego videos? I don't think so. I remember posting it at a certain point when he spoke. I just don't remember when Nassim Qassem spoke, so I'm going to have to find the speech. You'll have to give me 1 second. I will play you another Lego video. How about this? You can listen to a Lego video while I find you the leader of Hezbollah's speech, and then I'll play that, and then we're done. This is an ode to the boys are back in town.
Guess who just got back today? And wild-eyed boys, let it bin away. Hey, hey. Haven't changed, still got nothing to say. But man, I still remember the way they used to make us laugh. Now it's all the same. Joe and the bros heads hit the mothership floor. Spread the word around. The sphere is back in town. The boys are 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 back in town. Joe Rogan sphere, the mothership crew, grifting and roasting. 2026 apocalypse 2. The boys are back in town. The boys are back in town. Burton shop, Segura, Hinchcliffe on stage. Circle jerking hard in the safe little cage. Trump's Iran war got Joe feeling terrified. But no more wars, was just merch that they sold and then lied. Jamie, pull that up. Hey, Jesus in a dress. Spencer Pratt for mayor. Man, this spear's a mess. They talk end times while cashing Spotify checks. Echo chamber popping, no one's cashing out yet. Spread the word around. The sphere is back in town. The boys are 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 back in town. Joe Rogan sphere, the mothership crew, grifting and roasting. 2026 apocalypse 2. The boys are back in town. The boys are back. The boys are back. The boys are back. Rogan's fear, baby. They never really left.
I mean, quite a song. All right, quite a song. I found you the post I wanted to play. They pump these videos out unbelievably fast. I can see why so many people are analyzing them. They pump them out constantly. So let me give you the speech from Nassim Qassem, because really, not only Lebanon, but Hezbollah's position in all of this becomes central. I don't know how the next few days are going to play out, but I do know the two issues that will determine the fate of a lot of people and their mental security and their physical well-being will come down to the Strait of Hormuz or the Strait of Iran, depending on what day it is in Mr. President Trump's world, and the situation with Hezbollah. And it starts with one, not killing Hezbollah. You know, like, that's a good start, not killing them. Like, let's start there. Step two, like, let's, get Israel out of southern Lebanon, okay, entirely, south of the blue line. That's what 1701 says, UN resolution, Security Council resolution 1701, do it. No 2024 ceasefire with freedom of movement. That's outrageous. Okay, and then we can actually end this. Because all the other issues are, quite frankly, solvable. Because Mr. President Trump just wants to save face by getting the dust. I'm not even really sure if he fully understands what they're going to do. Like, you're just going to take enriched uranium. Okay, that's probably scattered. It's either in a centrifuge or it's scattered. If you destroyed the centrifuge, it's scattered. Okay, in the like rock. All they're going to do after you get that is just mine more uranium. That they have uranium mines. Okay. So everyone's saving face by Iran. That's why Iran wants to give the uranium to Pakistan. They don't care about the uranium. They will enrich more uranium. They don't care. So everybody saves face. Mr. President Trump gets to... I don't know why he thinks this is like magic nuclear dust. It's not. It's just uranium. It's just uranium. I don't mean to say that. It's just not some like special pixie dust. It's enriched uranium, okay? All right, so we're going to go get it. It's like a face-saving gesture. The Iranians are trying to, like, let Mr. President Trump, they know he likes, like, a PR win. So they just want to give him a PR win. They want a PR win, though, which is, well, a few things. One, I don't think they want to toll the strait, really. They just want money. So what I hope folks understand, what this really comes down to is probably about $20 billion in banks in Qatar that, like, Qatar is happy to give to the Iranians, frankly. But the only way that Qatar can give the $20 billion to the Iranians, which is frankly the Iranians' money, is if the U.S. lifts the sanctions. So that's another doable thing here. Okay, watch this. Let me just show you a magic equation here. Ready? The more zeros you put on to the end of that $20 billion number, the more likely it is that Iran's like, oh, wouldn't you look at that? The strait is open. I just want to it's a very simple mathematical equation. This is not like a complex concept here. There's $20 billion in frozen Iranian funds in the Qatari banks. Talk to whoever the hell you got to talk to. I don't know where zeros come from on the end of a number that big. Like one more zero there, we're moving in a good direction. Like one more zero, okay, like $200 billion. It should actually be $273 billion. I've done the calculation. Like I did a rough estimate based on the number of ships I projected passing through the Strait of Hormuz at a rate of $500,000 per ship over the next 10 years. I did a forecast. All right, and I've determined that a reasonable amount to pay the Iranians is $273 billion. Don't ask too many questions. I spent a lot of time doing the calculation, and my opinion is that we should pay, I can't believe I'm saying this, my opinion is that we should pay Iran $273 billion. Now listen. Now, some of you are going to say grant. The grant, that is 11% of the currency in existence. I know. I understand, okay, that it is 11% of, like, the U.S. currency in existence, the printed currency. I understand. I still think that the best way to do this is to give Iran $273 billion. Now, they might, like, accept closer to, like, $200 billion. And I bet you can get, like, if we actually released all their frozen funds, I bet, plus interest, compounded, they're going to want compounded quarterly. Let's give them compounded annually and call it even. Listen, you got to put me in that negotiation room. Mr. President, you want to get this done? Somebody tell the president that they need to send this guy Grant to Pakistan, and his girlfriend Nikki gets to come. She's wonderful. Just send me to Pakistan. Let me talk to the Iranians. I might end up giving them $273 billion. But we got this. All right, listen. I think we got this all figured out. All right? I'm not saying it has to be $273 billion. I just think that's a reasonable number to start with for the Iranians. We should probably start closer to like $125 billion, with $20 billion or like $80 billion of that coming from their own frozen funds. Now listen to this. If we start at $120 billion and they start at $273 billion, we can all just agree on $200 billion. All right, so you get like $80 billion of the frozen Iranian funds. You ask like Qatar for it. What does Qatar need all those billions for? Like, I don't know what they're doing with it. They throw in like $10 billion. A billion there, a billion here. You talk to MBS. You're like, can we have a few billion? Like 30 billion. Okay, so there you go. That's like 120 billion. Then, like, the other 80 billion, that's like a rounding error, I imagine. So, you find that in the budget. And then you see, this is called towel economics, okay? This is a genius plan. All right, so we come up with $200 billion. We pay Iran for the $200 billion. Now, as to how we're going to solve the Lebanese equation, I have to listen to the perspective of Hezbollah. I haven't listened to Mr. Nassim Qassem's speech, so let's take a listen. British reporter Tal, would you mind reading aloud the words of the Hezbollah leader so I can come up with this genius solution to solve this part of the conflict?
Urgent. Statement issued by His Eminence, the Secretary-General of Hezbollah, Sheikh Naim Qassem, Deputy to the Jurist in Islam and Muslims. The battlefield has proven that it holds the decisive word, and successful politics is that which draws on its outcomes as a source of strength to compel the Israeli enemy to submit, thereby securing the rights of Lebanon and its citizens to their land and sovereignty within a framework of national cooperative integration that closes the doors to sedition and foreign exploitation of our country. The temporary ceasefire would not have come about without the jihad of the resistance fighters on the honorable southern front lines, in a legendary performance that stunned the world. And in martyr-like steadfastness before the American-Israeli enemy amid a vast disparity in military power balances. The resistance fighters have proven that their three-dimensional weapon, faith, will, and capability, is stronger than all the armies of the aggressors, and that in Lebanon there are those who sacrifice the dearest and most precious for liberation, dignity, and independence. The presence of the faint-hearted, the morale breakers, and the backstabbers does not impede their advance toward the noble goal, for they have first pledged their skulls to God Almighty, surrounded by noble and sacrificial people who have endured killing, destruction, displacement. And the costs of dignity and honor, people from all sects, doctrines, and regions, whose direction is southern Lebanon, because all of Lebanon is its south. Thus, when the south smiles and is liberated, all of Lebanon smiles and is liberated. Thanks be to God Almighty first, for He is the victor and the helper, and thanks to the heroes of the resistance who halted the advance of the Israeli enemy despite its mobilization of 100,000 soldiers on the borders, and who prevented it from reaching the Litani, not in the first week as planned, nor in 45 days during the Battle of the Consumed Storm. And thanks extended to the contributions of the families, the people, the supporters, and their sacrifices. And thirdly, thanks to the Islamic Republic of Iran, its leadership and people, which provided support and backing, linking the ceasefire in the Pakistan agreement to its explicit halt in Lebanon in the official announcement. Then closing the Strait of Hormuz in response to the American violation of the ceasefire in Lebanon, followed by American submission and the forcing of the Israeli enemy to halt, which led to the reopening of the Strait of Hormuz. We followed this course moment by moment. Nor do we overlook thanking Pakistan's sponsorship and all those who helped, even if only through statements of support for the ceasefire in Lebanon. We read a post issued by the U.S. State Department titled, Ceasefire Agreement Between Lebanon and Israel, April 2026, released after the ceasefire took effect. It means nothing on a practical level, but it is an insult to our country and nation, Lebanon, that America dictates its text and speaks on behalf of the Lebanese government, as stated at the beginning of the statement. The government of Israel and the government of Lebanon have agreed to the following text. Everyone knows that the Lebanese government has not convened and has not issued approval for this statement. Enough of burdening Lebanon with these humiliations, in direct negotiations with the Israeli enemy to hear its dictates, in the disgraceful image in Washington where tyranny circles the prey, and in issuing positions on behalf of Lebanon. This is a slippery slope with no end. Enough. The people of Lebanon are noble, and they will remain so through solidarity and unity with the army, the people, the resistance, and the political authority that seeks Lebanon's independence and liberation. The ceasefire means a complete halt to all hostile actions. And because we do not trust this enemy, the resistance fighters will remain in the field with their hands on the trigger, responding to aggression violations in kind. There is no ceasefire from the resistance side alone, it must be from both sides. Nor will we accept a path of 15 months of patience toward Israeli aggression in anticipation of diplomacy that achieved nothing. The next step is to implement the 5 points. 1. Permanent halt to aggression across all of Lebanon by air, land, and sea. 2. Withdrawal of the Israeli enemy from occupied territories up to the borders. 3. Release of prisoners. 4. Return of the population to their villages and towns up to the borders. 5. Reconstruction with Arab and international support and national responsibility. Hezbollah is open to the utmost cooperation with the authority in Lebanon on a new page based on achieving our nation Lebanon's sovereignty, within a framework of unity, preventing sedition, and leveraging the potentials of strength within the national security strategy. We build our nation Lebanon together, preventing foreigners from guardianship and achieving the Israeli enemy's goals through politics, and translating sovereignty and citizen protection into clear measures and plans. Israel and the tyrants of the earth with it have not defeated us, and they will not defeat us, especially after the gifts of the martyrs, foremost among them the master of the nation's martyrs, Sayyid Hassan Nasrallah, may God be pleased with him. Sayyid al-Hashimi, and all the martyrs, and the gifts of the wounded, the prisoners, and the great people. Lebanon's head will remain held high by its sacrificial sons. May he remain safe and victorious, preserved by the protection of Allah and the care of the Master of the age and time. May God hasten his noble appearance. May God reward you with the best of rewards, for the sake of Muhammad and the pure.
Peace be upon him. That was a comment, not part of the speech. So, that was the speech from the leader of Hezbollah. It's actually very reasonable. It's very reasonable. Is anything about that unreasonable? It's really not. They seem pretty intelligent. So, my name is Grant Smith Ellis. Here's a little bit more from the Speaker of the Iranian Parliament about what Iran was going to do after Mr. President Trump threatened to hit the Iranian energy infrastructure. Reaper, how are you? I agree. It's so good to see you. God bless you, G. Reaper. You are wonderful. I'm so glad I got to see you. Hi, Francine. Pete Bunny Towel, so good. Excited to see you before the outro.
تا یادتون میشه گفت 48 تا دیگه زیرساخت‌ها رو میزنیم. گفتم خب ما که میگیم این کار غلطی انجام میدیم. ولی اگه زیرساخت‌ها رو بزنی ما این زیرساخت‌ها رو میزنیم. گفت ما برای شما جهنم درست میکنیم. گفتم یه جهنمی که تو درست میکنی، این جهنم اول برای خانواده آمریکایی است، برای بقیه دنیاست. بله ممکنه به ما هم آسیب برسه، ما نمیگیم به ما آسیب نمیرسه، ولی قبل از اینکه ما با آسیب برسه به شما آسیب میرسه. ما هم پاسخ میدیم.
And that's why I get upset with Mr. President Trump. If you underestimate the Iranians and they hurt American citizens because they're mad at President Trump, that's the worst case scenario. All right. Let's take a listen now. This is Iran's security chief Azizi speaking earlier today.
امروز آمریکایی‌ها مجبور شدن از خلیج فارس پایگاه‌هایی که در منطقه داشتن اینها رو تخلیه کنن، فرار کنن، منطقه رو ترک کنن. این دستاورد بزرگی است. اینکه ابهت آمریکا شکسته شد. سالها آمریکایی‌ها تو این منطقه وعده تأمین امنیت به کشورهای منطقه میدادن. هر چی این بیچاره‌ها داشتن از اینها گرفتن به عنوان تأمین امنیت. آخه نتونستن امنیت خودشون رو تأمین کنن. پا به فرار گذاشتن. امروز
Wow. Goodness. Meanwhile, President Obama is oddly dancing. I don't know. I don't even know what to say about that. What kind of outro song do we need? We need an outro song. I'm a tired Tao, but I'll be back with you tomorrow. Let's see, what song do we need? I think Tao will play the outro song, and then we'll do Tippecanoe, and then we're out of here. Alright, I know exactly the song we need. It's what the world needs. It's what your girl needs. It's the song. I love this song.
ضربان قلب من یبن الحسن ضربان قلب من یبن الحسن ضربان قلب من یبن الحسن یا ایها العزیز ای واسم همه چیز من تا تو رو نبینم ازت دست بر نمیدارم ای مهربون تر از پدر و مادرم دوست دارم من تا تو رو نبینم ازت دست بر نمیدارم ای مهربون تر از پدر و مادرم دوست دارم گوش به فرمانم فرمانده تپش تپش ضربانم فرمانده ترباز سید علی آماده راستی نیومدی نگرانم فرمانده ای فرمانده آمادم آمادم آماده ای فرمانده آمادم آمادم آماده ای فرمانده آمادم آمادم آماده دیر شد مهدی بابای جوون من پیر شد مهدی، دیر شد مهدی. خبر اومدنت ببین فراگیر شد مهدی، دیر شد مهدی. ببین صدات میزنن از کجا، کجایی مهدی چشم راه. بیا منم میخوام برات فداشم، میخوام سید حسن تو باشم. گوش به فرمانم فرمانده، تپش تپش ضربانم فرمانده. سرباز سید علی آماده، راستی نیومدی نگرانم فرمانده. ای فرمانده آمادم آمادم آماده. ای فرمانده آمادم آمادم آماده. ای فرمانده آمادم آمادم آماده. جات اینجاست، اینجا توی قلب رزمندت. جات اینجاست، تو پناهی من پناهندت. جات اینجاست، منم آج قاسم آیندت. سرباز تموم یارما، ظلم و زانو در میارما. نگاه نکن قد و قوارمو، منم یه یحیی سنوارما. گوش به فرمانم فرمانده، تپش تپش ضربانم فرمانده. سرباز سید علی آماده، راستی نیومدی نگرانم فرمانده. ای فرمانده آمادم آمادم آماده. ای فرمانده آمادم آمادم آماده. ای فرمانده آمادم آمادم آماده.
Also, I have a question. I'll play a bonus video. If someone can explain to me why Billy Bush, Alan Jackson, who's Karen Reed's lawyer, and Howie Mandel are messing around with the AI hologram technology. Like, first of all, I get why Billy Bush and Alan Jackson are together, but like, this is just like, what are they doing? Alan's having a great time. I mean, hold on. Can someone just explain to me why these three people are together? It's a little bit of kind of just
attorney,
like
Alan Jackson.
What?
Alan Jackson, not the country music singer, but rather the brilliant attorney known for his work in high-profile cases. With a sharp mind and a way with words that's almost theatrical. Jackson has tackled numerous cases, particularly in the realm of criminal defense. His legal career has been marked by a commitment to justice and a passion for advocacy. It's fascinating how attorneys can mirror the complexities of character, much like I portrayed in my various roles.
Tell me more about Alan Jackson, the attorney, but tell me in Mandarin. I would send him.
In Mandarin!
当然可以。Alan Jackson 是一位杰出的律师，提出了美国高级
What is this? Why is this on Twitter?
杰克逊律师致力于维护正义。
So Alan, what?
他的逻辑思维和口才让人想起一些。
Why is he talking in Mandarin?
It's in sync. It's in sync.
But why is he? Oh, they're making him into one. Okay, I understand.
You know, every once in a while you meet somebody and they change your life. Billy Bush changes every person's life. I just want to say thank you for letting me into your world, Billy. Thank you for letting me on the show.
Oh, it's like a TV thing. That's cool. See, I don't do that style of TV. We're very low budget here. I'm one man with a computer. We don't have none of that. I told Alan Jackson if he wants to go to lunch, he has to go to lunch with me in a McDonald's. Just like you don't understand. I want David Giannetti to be like, listen, Alan, Grant said he'll take a lunch meeting, but we have to go to the McDonald's. Alan's gonna be like, why a McDonald's? David's gonna be like, well, Grant also wants to make Clerk Margaret the Secretary of Commerce, and I'm not sure he has a lot of reasoning behind that one either. I just think he thinks it's hilarious. Which, I mean, that's true, that's true. Oh, goodness. Also, apparently, Translator Tal thinks my laugh is very funny, which made me laugh even harder. You don't understand. Oh, I'm going to get a towel 8-pack from all this laughing. Towel girlfriend Nikki's going to be thrilled. You know, but I don't know if... Well, yeah, you may as well laugh during peacetime. All right. That was a great outro. I think I'll do the presidents now. All right, let me do the presidents. Let me put AI Alan Jackson on the screen while I do the presidents. All right, here we go. All right, so we call this, Tippecanoe and Tyler too. I'm going to copyright Grant's laugh. Oh, goodness. All right, here we go. Apparently it's very cute and expressive. You're gonna make me giggle. Hashtag towel giggle. I love Alan Jackson, the singer and the lawyer. Alright, now you're all just trying to make me giggle. Alright. We could giggle more tomorrow. I'm sure it'll be something ridiculous and absurd. I mean, we started the stream by talking about how President Trump legalized psychedelic drugs. So frankly, you know, it was bound to devolve into some kind of ridiculousness. Oh, goodness. Oh, gracious. All right, let me get Pete Bunny Towel. Come here, Pete. Where'd you go? Oh, no. Oh, no. Francine, Peep is sleeping. I'm going to have to get the Pete Bunny Towel picture. I don't know where he is. He's being a Pete Bunny Towel. I don't know what I did with him. I don't think he needed a bath. I think I was cleaning. I think I put him on a shelf. I'm going to have to go look for him. All right, the point is, Pete Bunny Towel's in hibernation. You know, I think he's getting ready. He thinks war is coming, so he's going back into hibernation. But that's our channel mascot. Francine loves Pete Bunny Towel, and he loves Francine. It's his buddy, Francine. Every day I go talk to him just about Francine. He doesn't really say anything. He's a stuffed Pete Bunny Towel. But the point is, he loves his friend Francine very much. That's Pete Bunny Towel. Oh, yes, Mercury Star. He can love you, too. He has a lot of friends. He's Pete Bunny Towel. He's loved around the world. He's a stuffed Pete Bunny. He doesn't really do anything. It's just every day at the end of the stream, Pete Bunny Towel comes on. He says hello. His friend Francine gets all excited. She says hello. Everybody gets excited. We're all happy. Tripoli Bob, you got here just in time for Tippecanoe. You're going to be thrilled. You are a timely Tripoli Bob. Here we go. Yes, that's what they'll call him. Timely Tripoli Bob. All right. So we're starting with, of course, President Washington. Then we go to President Adams, of course. And then President Jefferson, right? And then President Madison. Now, I'm trying to learn some new presidents. I think President Monroe's in there, and President Fillmore's in there. I listened to a whole lecture on President Fillmore last night. I still don't really know where he goes in the order of presidents, but I listened to an entire lecture on Millard Fillmore last night. I thought of you, Tripoli Bob. I was like, oh, Tripoli Bob's going to be thrilled. I learned the name of another president. I don't know where he goes in the order, but I got the name. So the point is, Millard Fillmore's in there somewhere. I have no idea where he goes yet, but he's on my list. I only have so many more to go before I have them all. Millard Fillmore's getting on the list. I don't really know where he is, but, he's in there. I gotta start again. The point is, I just wanted to tell Tripoli Bob I learned about Millard Fillmore. It was great. I listened to a whole hour-long lecture about Millard Fillmore. It was just about the presidency of Millard Fillmore. And it started off by saying, now you might think the presidency of Millard Fillmore is not very interesting. And you'd somewhat be right. But it turns out it does have some interesting parts. Alright, here we go. We got to start again. President Washington, President Adams, President Jefferson, President Madison. Skip a few, you get to Van Buren at 8. Skip a few, you get to Andrew Jackson at 13. Then we pick up with Tippecanoe and Tyler 2. So that's going to be, oh goodness, Polk, Taylor, Pierce, Buchanan, Lincoln, Johnson, Grant, Rutherford B. Hayes, Garfield, Chester A. Arthur, Cleveland, Harrison, Cleveland, McKinley, Teddy Roosevelt, William Howard Taft, Woodrow Wilson, Harding, Coolidge, Hoover, FDR, Truman, Eisenhower, Kennedy, Johnson, Nixon, Ford, Carter, Reagan, Bush 1, Clinton, Bush 2, Obama, Trump, Biden, Trump. How about them apples? Now that's how you do it. Oh, Towel Girlfriend did this test with me today where I looked at how fast I can read. Did you know I can read over 900 words per minute? Isn't that really cool? I can just naturally read over 900 words per minute. I can speak like 380 to 400 words per minute, and I can type like 120 to 220 words per minute, depending on like how much I've been typing recently. So anyway, my point is, have you ever heard someone say the president's that fast? I'm getting so good at it, I can just rattle them off faster than the human ear is able to actually hear. It's great. We guess Soul Controller, we can do it. We're going to make me president. I'll talk to Tripoli Bob. Tripoli Bob's going to be in my campaign. It's going to be great. I haven't told Tripoli Bob yet this, but I need Tripoli Bob. I need people who like philosophy in my campaign. Tripoli Bob, it's going to be great. I'm going to be president. You can come to the White House, Tripoli Bob. You can pick any position. Well, I have to think about what you want to do in the cabinet. I mean, my guess is you can we in charge of Tippecanoe related things. You just kind of tell me what Tippecanoe did, and then I'll be like, okay, we can do that, or I'll be like, no, that's not a very good idea. And then your job will be to just continually advocate for the positions of Tippecanoe. It's genius. Oh, this is a great plan. I'm going to make Tripoli Bob Secretary of Tippecanoe. Oh, I'm so excited. I have listen, I'm putting Mimi in the diplomatic protocol office. She's going to be in charge of the goats. I thought I was already Minister of Tipping Canoes. Oh, that's right. Oh, Tripoli Bob, how could I forget? We have a ministry of tipping canoes. I forgot that we put you in that. I need to assign you a little bit more work, though, in order to get the American taxpayers to go along with this plan. So in addition to your job of tipping over canoes, you have to brief me on the policy positions of Tippecanoe, and you have to tell me whether or not we should adopt them as modern national policies. It's a really fun job. I'm sure you're going to love it. You don't really have to do anything. You just have to tell me about Tippecanoe every day. You're going to be thrilled. You can tip some canoes over during your leisure time. Oh, goodness. All right. Let's see. What else do we got going on here? There was something else I wanted to answer. I forget what it was about. Oh, right. I wanted to make... So I have this plan. It's a very serious plan. My friend Mimi, okay, she has a baby goat named Ellie. My plan is to bring Mimi to Washington, okay? And I'm going to put her in the diplomatic protocol office, and then we're getting rid of all the other gifts that presidents give. I'm giving goats. If I meet you, I'm having Mimi and Nikki Towel Girlfriend, okay? They're going to keep a ledger of all the goats. I'm going to put the goats in the unfinished ballroom on the White House grounds. They're just going to live there. And every time I meet a foreign head of state, every time I meet a plenipotentiary from another country, I'm going to say hello. Good to meet you, I'm the president. And then I'm going to give them a goat. The goat's going to wear a little name tag around its neck. It's going to have the name on it. And I'm going to be like, this is your goat. They have to accept it. You can't turn down a gift from the president. That's not allowed. Now, I have a backup plan, okay? If they don't want the goat or they don't want to take it home, they have to stick around in the room with the goat until I leave, and then they can tell a staffer and the goat will be brought to the stable. It will be like an honorary goat, and we'll have all these goats from around the world that people didn't want to take home. It'll be great. Oh, the Prime Minister of Sweden's going to be like, I'm not taking this goat back home. And the staff will be like, that's okay. You can put the goat in the Swedish wing of the stable. Oh, it's going to be wonderful. Oh, we are going to have the best time if I become president. The media is not going to know what to do. The other countries are going to be overwhelmed. My staff are going to be overwhelmed. The public's going to have a great time. Every day I just get to wake up. We're going to have so much fun. I'm going to quiz Maggie Haberman about Kant. Well, I'm going to tell her I'm going to quiz her about Kant so she reads a lot of Kant. Then I'm actually going to quiz her about Hegel just to troll her. And I'm going to ask Katie Couric about the clones from the Epstein documents. Oh, I have so many plans. All right. The goats will mow the lawns. Hello, Happy Feet Girl. I'm so glad I got to see my friend Happy Feet Girl. Did you know that I made a special emoji just for Happy Feet Girl? You know, a lot of people have emojis, but Happy Feet Girl's name reminds me of a dancing penguin. So I made her an emoji. It's a penguin with happy feet. You don't understand. I don't know about tipping a canoe, but if you accidentally hit a mailbox and the cops think you're drunk, they charge you with vandalism for the mailbox because you were drunk, like you said, and they are mad. Well, I don't really know much about any of that. Are there rogue mailbox tippers out there? Oh, goodness. I've heard of, like, back in the day, way back in the day, I've heard of, like, in the country, people tipping, like, cows in mailboxes. I've never heard of anyone tipping over a canoe, but, you know, there's a first for everything. All right, I've laughed myself to the point where I'm tired. I want to go to bed, and I want to wake up and hang out with Tao girlfriends, so that's what we're doing. Oh, very interesting, Penny. I didn't know that. That's wonderful, Tiffany Bob. That's hilarious. All right, my name is Grant Smith Ellis. Thank you for watching. We've been going for 3.5 hours during tonight's, what was supposed to be a 2-hour nightly news recap. Good thing I don't have formatting or programming or anyone to stop me. What is it? It's 10:15 p.m. Eastern. Kind of ceasefire, kind of war, kind of not. Kind of, we don't really know time. You know, not a good time, let's put it that way. It's Saturday, April 18th, here in Boston. It is, oh no, it's 4:14 a.m. Oh, I gotta go to bed, or I'm not gonna wake up when Nikki wakes up. So it's 4:14 a.m. in South Africa. It's 5:14 a.m. in Tel Aviv, Israel, and it's 5:45 a.m. as the sun rises in Tehran, Iran. It's Sunday, April 19th there. If you enjoyed this public information service today, if you benefited from this stream, I haven't done a donation read at all, so feel free to consider some donations or support. I think I need a little help. I wouldn't say emergency help. Well, we may get there tomorrow or the next day. I need a little help to get to like Tuesday. So if you like this stream, there's a Cash App, there's a Venmo. Any way you're able to help is good. We only have to get through like 2 more days. I think I can do it, but I'm probably going to need some help. So if you join Cash App, if you don't have one, it'll give you $5 if you send $5 like to me, and it will give me $30. If you want to donate in general, there is a Cash App, # Grant Smith Ellis. There's a Venmo at Grant-E1. fun. There is a PayPal, paypal.me/Grant Ellis. And then there's a Revolut as well, revolut.me/@GrantSmithEllis. This is a public information service designed to educate, inform, and entertain. I try to use entertainment as a little bit of a buffer to insulate your brain from trauma. And in turn, I try to also educate and inform you. In turn, engendering cogent public discourse, and therein warding off the usurpation of our forms of government worldwide. If you want to see this kind of thing continue, if you'd like to help provide access to people who maybe aren't able to pay for this kind of journalism, if you think it's valuable, do consider a donation to help me eat and live. Things are going to get pretty rough tomorrow. Let's see where we're at, just because sometimes if I tell people where we're at, then they know how they can help. So I have $59. Nope, I have $7.72 in my Cash App. I think I have a little bit in my Venmo. Hold on. I have 40 in my Venmo. So it might not be an emergency tomorrow. I have $47. I don't have anything in my bank. I do this at it will probably, with the donations, we're getting close. I've really cut a lot of my expenses, and I'm trying to do my best. But yeah, I run this from my computer. I pay for the streaming software and the translations and the captions and the hosting and all the other stuff. But I don't mind. I try to do this so that people can be informed about the world. And I'm just grateful to all of you for your support. And I'm very thankful to be able to do this each day. So I hope that you have benefited from the stream. And yeah, if you do want to support, please don't donate if it would be a burden, or if you've already donated or something like that, because I'm very grateful to all of you who support Little Towel. How I get myself into these positions, well, it tends to be a combination of little family support, and then, you all have become really my support and family, so I'm very grateful to know you all. I've been a lot less nervous recently. I met a very nice girl named Nikki. I can't wait to travel around the country and meet her with you all. So yeah, I think we're going to make it. I think Little Towel's going to make it, and I think this news service will continue to thrive because of you all, and I'm looking forward to trying to use this news service to spread, I think, a message that people need to hear, which is there is an intense reality in the world, sadly, but if we talk about it and we understand different perspectives, maybe there's hope for a better tomorrow. And journalism is also not an industry, so I would hate to do this for a corporation or something. It's just your donations allow me to eat and get snacks. But I think we're doing all right, so we're making it. I actually don't feel as nervous. I can't wait to travel around the country with Nikki and meet some of you and go to the Red Sox game with George. And I just have hope for the future, even among these intense times. And I think I'm a little apprehensive, because I really had faith that we were close to peace, but I definitely am apprehensive. But on a personal level, I'm grateful to you all for allowing me the opportunity to provide this news service. I'm grateful to God more so than I think almost anything else. And then I'm grateful to Nikki. I think Towel Girlfriend has given me a new lease on life, as have you all. And that's a priceless thing, and I won't let you down. I'm going to go forth, and I'm going to try to make the world a better place. So thank you for all of your support. I hope you all rest well. As you know, I like to end this stream the same way every day. If you benefited today, if you learned something, if you'd like to pay it forward, please consider looking for reasons to do a small act of service and kindness for the people around you today. Please do consider a donation to our veterans, or our homeless veterans, or our service members or their families. They put their lives on the line for us, and there should not be one veteran homeless in the United States of America against their will, or we have failed as a country. If they would like to go live in the woods, we're not going to stop them. They do have survival skills. But if there is a single veteran homeless in the United States of America, we have failed as a country, and I truly believe that. So look for a reason to donate and help our veterans and service members today. You may also consider, if you like helping our furry friends, if you like peat bunny towels, even though they're not animals, you may consider a donation to an animal shelter run by our veterans, or that helps our veterans or service members. Great way to help our fur friends, great way to help our veterans and service members. You may also consider, if you can't find such an animal shelter in general, run by anyone. It's a great way to donate and help our furry friends. They need our help too. If you are in the UK, you may consider a donation to The Big Issue. It's a great way to help populations experiencing homelessness in the UK. Doesn't have to be a donation, though. It could be something as simple as smiling at someone on the street, reaching out to a friend or family member you haven't heard from in a while, or yes, even giving away 200 tomato plants like Francis Futrell did one time, and then having them designated as honorary towels during the outro forevermore. In that way, may we hopefully finally change about the current realpolitik from one centered on preserving, expanding, and demonstrating our power, to instead one centered on preserving, expanding, and demonstrating our capacity to engage in small acts of service and kindness rooted in unconditional love. In turn, allowing us to live up to our tal eudaimonia or summum bonum, our greatest good in the ancient Greek or Latin respectively, and therein bringing about a new digital epoch defined by Aquarius the water bearer, standing tall and carrying a towel. I believe it's possible because of you all. I'm so grateful to have spent this time with you tonight. Thank you for welcoming me into your homes or your phone screens or wherever you may be in the world. God bless all of you. Please be well. May God protect the people of this world, and may peace somehow prevail from this ever-growing darkness. I know it's possible. The things just have to line up the right way, and that's what I'll be praying for tonight. Thank you again. My name is Grant Smith Ellis from Boston. God bless each and every one of you. It was great. Oh, that's sad, Soul Controller. They can't shout it anymore. I remember that. My friend used to work for The Big Issue back in the day when I was in Bath. Soul Controller, Francine, Trelly, all of my dear friends. Happy Feet Gal, Penny, thank you for watching. Tiffany Bob, Triple Bob, I saw you in there earlier. Each and every one of you, God bless you. Rest well, and I'll see you tomorrow upon waking up. Although I will probably want to hang out with Towel Girlfriend for at least a little bit, but then I'll stream in the afternoon or evening Eastern Time, and hopefully I will report only that there are talks commencing in Islamabad. I'm not sure if we're going to get there, but God willing, we will. Until tomorrow, friends, good night. God bless you. My name is Grant Smith Ellis. Until we see each other again, thank you for watching.